Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Treasure Hunting for All. I have a god-level synthesis system. Chapter 81. The stampede of the giant elephant formed a powerful explosion, as if a meteor sledgehammer slammed into the tide of ghouls on the ground. No ghoul could survive this fierce and heavy attack, only the ghouls in the aftermath of the outer layer would be blown away, not to mention those rotting corpses that were directly trampled under their feet. Lin Yu sat on the highest peak, watching the changes of the shield all the time, and at the same time watching the battle between Linglong and the Steppenwolf in the distance. The roaring Steppenwolf is a ghoul born from the corpse of a 5-kilometer level giant wolf. It absorbs most of the spirit and aura of the territory, forming a terrifying resilience. The two-handed giant axe in Steppenwolf's hand can cause a force of more than 1,000,000 catties. But in front of Linglong, this speed seemed very slow. I saw that Linglong was like a purple silk thread, following Steppenwolf's movements, and circling him repeatedly, so that he couldn't find his figure at all, and at the same time, the flame waves on his body were constantly corroding and burning the surrounding land. Don't let the rest of the ghouls get close, and then bring a long knife in your hand, which is still a standard long knife, and the front part is slightly bent in an arc, degrees. With a flashing cold light, a single slash can break through the Steppenwolf's defense and directly cut a section of flesh. Cough, drink. The Steppenwolf let out a roar, and a red beam of light tens of meters in size formed under his feet, and then spread out frantically, sweeping in all directions, and the ground flew up. Wang Dong, who saw it in the distance, was shocked. Did you see it? That's the rank 5 ghoul of the Lord level, which can already cause a large-scale destructive attack. The destructive power emitted by this roaring beam of light is at least at the disaster level. I've seen it. Captain Wang's eagle attack was originally powerful, but now it looks like sesame seeds and watermelon. Although they were chatting, they didn't listen to the movements of their hands, and spared no effort to infuse the spiritual power in their bodies, filling the entire burst of firearms, and the explosive power swept across the battlefield in an instant. The places that the mountain and sea giant elephants cannot step on, or those ghouls that survive the disaster will be harvested instantly. Kill more, everyone, for contribution. Kill, survive this tide of ghouls, and everyone will make a fortune. We don't need to go out, just harvest in the territory, ha ha ha, it's so cool. Spend all the spiritual power. Our territory also needs spiritual power to support it, and it will probably not work after a few more. Wang Dong has a close relationship with Lin Yu, and is the captain of the vault hunters in these territories. So I know some information about the Elephant Realm GU. I also understand that it does not possess endless spiritual power. Once it is exhausted, the corpse cannot continue to move. It can be said that every action will consume spiritual power. The power of the Earth Physique GU is reflected here. Elephant Realm GU is rank 6 GU. The spiritual power contained in the body is as vast as the sea. But even so, if you continue to drive the corpse of the mountain and sea giant elephant to do violent movements for a long time, it will be exhausted, and then it will become a positional battle. There are not so many people in their mountain and sea giant elephant fortress, but the terrain is relatively familiar. It is good. Understood. Wang Dui is right. The sooner you light up, the sooner you can recover. You can't rely on the giant elephants. Bang bang bang. Rumbling. All of a sudden, fire snakes spewed out from the bunker, and the treasure hunters ate bottle after bottle of recovery potions, cleaning up the ghouls. At the same time, the corpses of Kanazuki Valley in the distance were constantly being unearthed, and the second rune arm that was more than 5 kilometers long stretched out. Then the upper body came out from under the ground. It was not difficult to see from the remote observation equipment that it was a giant surrounded by runes. Yes, it's humanoid. Long hair fluttering around, surrounded by purple light. The body is extremely huge, as if the highest mountain range, the widest ocean, the outline can be seen far away from the outside. His eyes were still closed, but with his hands clasped together, the power of the runes continued to appear. His lips were red and his teeth were white, exuding an incomparably rich vitality, as if he might wake up at any time. After discovering this, someone immediately posted it on the internet. Humanoid ghoul. Isn't this a ghoul? This is probably a corpse that has come back to life. Does this continent actually have humanoid corpses? I always thought there were only giant beasts. I always thought that this place was just some kind of realm where dead giant beasts were discarded. I didn't expect it to be a battlefield. It seems that the guess in the information book is correct. We are indeed living in the remnants of a battlefield. Star Wars, an unrivaled battle in which countless ethnic groups participated in the battle, thus forms such a world, which makes people feel extremely magical and strange. Luli's world. Who would have thought that these places that once had a unique growth system and were buried after death would turn into a world after endless years? Their physical bodies, laws, and spiritual power, after continuous decomposition, formed the basic rules required for the formation of this world, and then gave birth to ghouls and GU spirits. And because of the arrival of the human race, these primitive physical materials have gradually become the existence of making various weapons and equipment. But there are still many parts of giant beasts, which are unshakable treasures. Even so, human beings rarely unearth humanoid ghouls, or discover humanoid corpses, and now this one may really be one of the few and most complete. His breath of life is still there, and his whole body is emitting purple light. The upper body alone is already more than 10,000 meters away. If the whole body comes out, I'm afraid it will reach about 25,000 meters. Such a huge existence is an absolute threat to the human race. If one is not careful, it is likely to be destroyed by him. The humanoid corpse clasped its hands together, and in an instant, the purple light suddenly spread out, like a purple sun in the distance, emitting supreme radiance, making the ghoul even more weird and riotous, baring its teeth and claws towards humans' territory to kill. At this time, the Alliance also had to react. The situation has completely exceeded their expectations. This may not be a wave of ghouls used to test the first year's Vault Hunters, but their entire roof city. We are facing a disaster that has never been experienced before. Mountain and sea giant elephants. Hold head high. Boom. The sound of the explosion bombarded the last tall ghoul, and the resulting impact emptied the entire ground into a deep pit. A moment later, Linglong's knife shadow flickered past, and a blitz struck into the pothole, staying for a moment and disappearing immediately. Boom. A 30-meter-high body fell from the sky, and hit the ground with an axe in both hands. A pillar of fire burst out from the ground, rumbling, and the ground spread like a spider web. Small ants, come out. Don't run away. Roaring Steppenwolf roared crazily, and every time he roared, his eyes would turn red a bit, and around him, rune light arrays rose from the ground, providing him with a burst of anger. With anger, his speed will become faster and faster. It has to be said that Roaring Steppenwolf is a very powerful fighter, but not a qualified leader. The rest of the ghouls and wind erosion wolves have already been wiped out by Lin Yu's mountain and sea giant elephants and various guns. The few hundred remaining Steppenwolves had already run far away. Only the humanoid howling Steppenwolf was still fighting. When he was looking for Linglong, suddenly a ghostly mist came out around his head. Then the laser light from the eye of the void shot from a distance instantly. Swish! The shot pierced the roaring Steppenwolf's chest, and Linglong's body suddenly appeared. She crouched on the back of the Steppenwolf's head, pulled the dark horse with one hand, and pulled hard. Puff! The head of the roaring Steppenwolf was severed and thrown high up. It drew a beautiful parabola and landed on the ground with a plop. Lin Yu stood up slowly at the head command post of the giant elephant, and walked towards the door. His expression was still relatively cold, and he was no longer too surprised. This is the power he can display under his hands, and he can probably withstand the tide of ghouls of this level. Although the level of this ghoul wave is not high, it is powerful enough. Lin Yu's shield was already shattered, and he spent all the physical and spiritual energy of 60 Vault Hunters. Almost fighting to the point of loss of strength, Linglong also spent an hour of high-intensity fighting with the tip of the knife dancing, before she really killed the roaring Steppenwolf. At this time, a yellow light erupted from the Steppenwolf's body, suspended in midair, and fell to the ground. Gu Ling. He actually exploded a rank 5 Gu spirit. The corners of Lin Yu's mouth turned up, and he sent a message. Rest for 10 minutes, and then clean up the battlefield. He leapt forward and quickly dropped from the giant elephant's 3,000-meter-high head to the ground. He didn't use the little elephant's ability because she was already out of strength. At this moment, the giant elephant couldn't move anymore, and couldn't even expand its territory. Poof! Lin Yu came to the ground, and Yu Yao Yao quickly followed, holding several rank 3 Gu spirits in his hands, all of which were relatively rare beast-type combat Gu. Lin Yu, there were no casualties, it's incredible. Lin Yu smiled. I have already thought about the current situation since I decided to become the Lord of the Vault. Of course, there will be no casualties. My mountain and sea giant elephant, with 32 million level building material protection, will have to wait again next time. The shield is restored, and I don't think anything can be done for 3 days. Some territories have been destroyed, and the hair of giant elephants has turned into forests, and there may be some flying ghouls living in the forests. Well, I'll go clean up later. Lin Yu snapped his fingers, and the little elephant appeared next to him, hovering. The ghouls here contain a lot of life essence. You can absorb it as much as you want, and make the mountain and sea giant elephant grow within 3 days. Yes, the little elephant seemed to have heard the gift, and jumped up for joy. As it roared, the entire mountain and sea giant elephant also let out a weak roar, making the ghouls in the distance dare to wait and see. Continue to approach. At this moment, Linglong suddenly called Lin Yu. Master, I found the secret, please come here alone. Lin Yu's eyes froze. Okay, I'll come to the door right away. Crackling, Lin Yu's figure flickered several times, and each time she advanced about 10 meters, heading towards Linglong's position. She was in the deep pit, guarding the body of the roaring Steppenwolf. A body of 30 meters is indeed nearly 17 or 18 times larger for the human race, so Lin Yu can easily find Linglong's location. The battle was over, everyone was resting, and it was extremely quiet at the moment, except for the gray corpse debris floating in the air. Everything was the tranquility after the heavy rain. Occasionally, a few flying bird ghouls chirped a few times in midair, and their voices were filled with fear. At this moment, Lin Yu entered the deep pit, and saw that apart from an extremely exquisite GU spirit in the bright yellow beam of several meters, there was also a purple light cluster. It's a ghoul memory. As a GU spirit, Linglong is also a creature born from a huge spaceship, and because of the unique program memory of the mecha, she knows many common sense, 097, that GU spirits of other races do not know. For her, it is common sense, even she herself does not know how to know some common sense. Ghoul memory. Is it from some instant memory on the corpse? Yes, it may be helpful to you. I think you'd better take a look at it yourself, and then share it with me. I'll save your memory for you. Lin Yu nodded. What do you think of this? Just put your hand in there. Linglong explained. Lin Yu did as he did, reaching into the purple light cluster, and soon a memory entered Lin Yu's brain. His body shook, and he felt weightless. He seemed to have fallen into a certain valley, and the valley was very deep, and he kept falling. Suddenly, he traveled through a certain membrane and entered a whole new world. This is an extremely dark world, only to see a huge airship above the sky, with a height of 10,000 meters, carrying densely packed laser beams and high-level bombers. There is even an electromagnetic energy ring. Once the energy ring is opened, even the space will collapse. A stalwart figure stood on it, but he was like a stranger. He held a scepter in his hand, and the top of the scepter was a very bright gemstone. Because the gem's light is too bright, it makes the surroundings look like darkness, and the brilliance is almost taken away by it. Darkseid. Long live Darkseid. Greet your ruler. The call of the ancient gods. The final battle to unify the universe. Following his call, 3 suns appeared in the sky, and within the light of each sun, there was a figure. Immediately afterwards, there was a flying sword attacking from a distance. The shadow of the sword was huge, gathering countless energies out of thin air. In the process of lacing, it gradually became huge and filled with giant shadows surrounded by intense training. Cut on the body of that stalwart body. An ancient language, this place will turn into a huge world, and the existence of human beings will invade. They will plunder and clean up here, and we will welcome the arrival of Darkseid. It is our duty to protect Darkseid's awakening. Let the glory come back. Boom. The scepter was shattered, and after it was shattered, the storm swept through countless spaces tens of thousands of meters away, turning everything into nothingness. The countless starry space behemoths, deep space behemoths, world beasts, and ancient cultivators all fell at this moment. It turned into ashes and disappeared, and all kinds of treasures and magic weapons they carried fell down in a rustle. The skills and laws learned in the body returned to the universe at this moment, but they were trapped in this world by something, and then countless corpses were arranged on each other, horizontally, with a maximum of 1,000,000 meters and a minimum of 3 or 4 meters. It's like a puzzle. Everything was reduced to nothingness and corpses. nothing remained, and the scepter exhausted all the power of the gemstone and destroyed everything. The superpowers, superhumans, powerful monks, mechanical behemoths, special races and so on in the sky with different brilliance, all turned into corpses at this moment. Including the millions of space fleets, they cannot be spared. Everyone seemed to accept the gamble and became graves. Yes, it's a gamble. Those people couldn't stop the scepter, and the scepter couldn't wake up the dark universe king named Darkseid, so they bet everything on the future. The future is now. This battle took place in. Lin Yu frowned as he watched the aftermath of the battle, and watched the terrifying and huge light waves rippling and spreading, and no living beings could stop them. Then start looking for when this all happened. But he still didn't have the slightest clue, as if a fault had occurred. This memory is not the oldest either. It is estimated that I just saw this memory in other memories and wrote it down. So, how many years ago was this? Lin Yu had a guess. Possibly, several epochs ago. If it is the era, it will be great. Catastrophes will exist from the birth of a universe. Behind every catastrophe, there will be endless blessings and treasures, which can be said to be gifts from the origin of the universe. If you survive the catastrophe, everyone will survive in the era. If you cannot survive the disaster, then all creatures in the entire universe will be cleared. Back to the end again. The origin and the end are both a tiny dot in the nothingness before the universe. The difference is that the origin represents that this point is gradually growing, and eventually it will slowly expand and expand infinitely, and finally become a universe. And the end represents the end of this universe, getting smaller and smaller. But their relationship is very close, because the end of the end is the beginning. After an unknown number of epochs, the universe began to expand and expand again from its origin, and this place, as if it had never changed since ancient times, has always existed. Later, the first living being who came out of the world of origin, called the light race, found this place. Behind him, a follower has become a partner of the spirit of the universe. It's called good fortune. Nature chose him, not he chose nature. So he found the battlefield left by the Great War. In this endless continent, there are countless treasures, and the light descendants did not take anything away. He just spent countless years walking on this land, taking nothing. I don't know how long it took, but there are still countless corpses evolving into mountains and rivers, urban ruins and ancient forests. The Lightborn finally gave the world a name. God's burial. Because here, too many gods and people who can be called gods are buried. Their corpses will become a part of the evolution of the universe, possessing endless treasures. And Darkseid is among these treasures. Then, is it new hope to find him, or he wakes up first? It became a bet between the 1.0 scepter and the entire universe a few epochs ago. It depends on who finds it first. Therefore, Guangren used the power of nature to leave a seed in the world, and then died. This seed, after countless years, began to sprinkle countless seeds, and drifted to various places with the law of wind transformed from the corpse. They also absorbed the law of life and gradually became a group similar to the light descendants. This group is called the human race. Realizing this, Lin Yu suddenly went into a trance, came out of that mysterious state, and then found that there was some power in his body. It may be the perception, or it may be something left by this memory, but he has not checked yet. Explore. Lin Yu's eyes were a little dazed and dazed. Involuntarily, he reached out and touched the back of his head. Read 2 words slowly. God burial. What did you say? Linglong expressed that she was a little confused. Lin Yu glanced at her, and then shared the memory of what he saw with Linglong. Because he can feel that Linglong's willpower is very strong, which is not comparable to that of ordinary people, so he can bear this kind of memory that destroys the 3 views. After all, the human race has always thought that ghouls are intruders who will threaten their original lives, and regard them as evil spirits that climbed up from corpses. But in fact, human beings are the invaders of this continent. They are the seeds brought by the light descendants from the universe of origin, transformed by the power of good fortune. Then, people have unlimited possibilities. This is the power of creation. Fate stipulates your beginning and end, but good fortune can give you a slight chance to get rid of fate. Linglong obviously took a moment to comprehend this memory, and then fell into deep contemplation. In her thoughts, this is the first time she knows about the changes in this world. Before that, she didn't understand how they came from and where they were going. I thought that GU spirits were born to serve human beings, but now it seems that GU spirits are relatively gentle, while ghouls hate humans. Ghouls are equivalent to standing on Darkseid's side. Oh, Darkseid. Linglong hugged her head suddenly, and when she mentioned this name, her mind suddenly started to stab. What's wrong? Lin Yu hugged Linglong's shoulders in a panic. She was rarely in this state. Linglong, with extremely strong willpower, from the beginning to now, is the kind of GU spirit who doesn't talk too much. Hands-on combat can slay menacing ghouls. Now it actually causes a headache because of a memory. Very strange. Do not know. Linglong's tone was a little unbelievable, and she was trembling. She seemed to be afraid of something, and there seemed to be a voice echoing in her mind repeatedly. Can't say that name. Lin Yu frowned. He and Linglong originally belonged to a master-servant relationship with the same heart, so of course he could feel Linglong's nervousness and embarrassment. So he guessed so. Darkseid. This name is very interesting. It represents eternal darkness. This is the name given by the Alliance powerhouses at that time in memory. If you use the words of those ancient repairs, it is called the King of Darkness. Lin Yu is also more willing to call him the Dark Lord. And this place of divine burial, to seize countless treasures, is to prevent his resurrection. Suddenly, Lin Yu felt a heavy burden on his shoulders. The most important thing is that once he wakes up, it seems that he will rule the whole world according to his dark will. Go back first. You may need to recuperate. Don't keep this memory, just delete it. I will always remember it here. It is good. Linglong was amnesty. She originally volunteered to store this memory for Lin Yu, but it's a pity that she can't do it now. But for some reason, Lin Yu casually mentioned such words as Darkseid and the Dark Lord. Nothing happened at all. It may be that his power cannot come to Lin Yu. Ding. You have watched the ancient memory, the origin memory, knowledge plus 20, and obtained the synthesis point, 3000 inches. Lin Yu was suddenly surprised. He didn't expect that after getting these memories to watch, he would be rewarded by the system. Earned. Now the synthesis point is suddenly abundant again. And knowledge. Lin Yu remembers the power of the knowledge attribute, which will affect his elemental damage and the learning of various skills, and he can even use super magic. Back in the woods, Wang Dong brought 60 secret treasure hunters to report. Kuli Chang sent out to clean up the battlefield. The nearby ghouls had already retreated to a range of 10,000 meters because they were afraid of the enhanced elephant power of the elephant realm GU outside. Don't dare approach Lin Yu's territory. Lin Yu has survived the wave of ghouls. Then he reported the status of the Alliance's own territory according to the procedure, and is waiting for the Alliance's statistical contribution. Now, you can be the first to stabilize yourself. But there are still hundreds of thousands of ghouls and thousands of ghouls descending, dozens of ghoul lords, a few ghoul kings, and the huge humanoid ghouls more than 20,000 meters high are eyeing the territory of the human race. At this moment, Lin Yu only needs to look back at the glass window, and he can see the upper body of the tall humanoid ghoul. My lord, we have recovered a little bit, and we can help you search for the loot. Well, don't move the corpses, let the mountain and sea monsters absorb them all, and wait for the territory to grow a bit, so we can move on. Of course Lin Yu won't stop like this, a treasure lord must be greedy. But it's not brainless greed. Now his territory is stronger than ever, causing the tide of ghouls to suffer huge losses. He will soon be topped by the Ghoul King, and then become their target in the world of ghouls. Therefore, Lin Yu should be the first to complete the scavenging and heavy attack on the ghouls before the ghoul-marked situation comes, and get enough resources to develop and wait for the synthesis point every day. In the end, he walked towards the corpse of the 7-turn giant beast step by step. Although the Elephant Realm GU has reached rank 6, the corpse is still at the previous rank 5. Existences like mountain and sea giant elephants, among the giant beasts at the same stage, belong to large-sized giant beasts, and are most suitable for use as territories. When it grows to the rank 7 level, it may be able to break through 100,000 meters in length. At that time, Lin Yu's territory will be a city. The development of the territory really allowed him to live in peace. Report. Wang Dong came up from the stairs below, went to the operating room, and found Lin Yu who was taking a nap. How many? All the GU spirits have been searched, and the total number has reached 3,104. Among them there are 3 rank 4 Gus, 21 rank 3 Gus, and the rest are rank 1 Gus and rank 2 Gus. By the way, there is also a rank 5 GU in your hand. Lin Yu waved his hand. Understood. The rank 5 GU in his hand is the top of the star's wolf GU. It is just an ordinary wolf GU, but with the prefix of the peak of the stars added in front, it is different. On the main road, there is a hidden place that has not been explored by human beings, but has been reached by some people. It is called the Top of the Stars, and there are a large number of Druid Ghoul Kings, Prophet Ghoul Kings, God-falling Ghoul Kings, etc. living on it. With their powerful predictive ability and the law of fate, they have created one strong man after another. It is said that among the stars, the most powerful is the werewolf. Therefore, the Top of the Stars has the ability of werewolves, immortality and recovery. Almost all other abilities are constantly evolving on the basis of these two abilities. Therefore, the prefix with the peak of the stars represents the power of immortality. Lin Yu is now thinking about how to make the best use of it. This GU spirit is extremely delicate, it looks like a beetle, it is the size of a palm, and it contains enormous energy and power. As long as the other GU spirits feel its existence, they will tremble. In addition to the ability it bestows, it is Viator the battle, the more courageous, which is one of the characteristics, and when the life is dying, it will explode with stronger combat power. This is why the Howling Steppenwolf was able to keep up with Linglong at the last moment. At this moment, Lin Yu fell into deep thought. After a long time, he said, "Give me all the GU spirits." Lin Yu intends to choose something. Then, are you going to sell it? Do any of you want to share? Lin Yu asked back. Yes, for example, I can still bear 90% of the shared control. Because of poverty, we treasure hunters can't afford to buy GU spirits. If they are paid according to wages, they may want to match all the GU spirits. Impossible. I want a rank 3 wind-breaking GU. Wang Dong said very seriously. You can pay the wages in advance. This kind of GU can greatly strengthen my long-distance spiritual power bullets, and with the Eagle Strike, the power can be doubled again. Lin Yu frowned, but kept nodding. That's right, then go ahead and tell me what to do next. For Lin Yu, Wang Dong feels very good to him, unruly, free and easy, and honest, especially good to his own people, and never cares about gains or losses. This time, if he hadn't been forced to, he might really not speak. Then there is the Eagle Eye GU of the 4th turn, which can strengthen my eyesight. With the long-range mirror of Eagle Strike, it can increase the range to about 3,000 meters, which is already the distance of a special 5-star sniper. Afterwards, I can equip 3 rank 6 GU, I choose Small Space GU, Little Dragon Power GU, and Big Spiral GU. As for whether there is still a chance to improve the dominance after the preparation is complete, it depends on whether you can get the corresponding treasures and runes in the future. Rune, an extremely rare luxury occupation. There are rune masters among the clans, who can increase control or add other powers when assembling runes. This vein of runes comes from the observation of the starry sky, and according to different star positions, the effects produced after being connected together are also different. All are additional abilities. Lin Yu thought for a while, but didn't speak for a long time. He was weighing the gains and losses. Wang Dong's current strength is actually within a long-range range, and he has nothing to do with him, because the distance of the eagle attack is too long. The range of 1800 m can guarantee the safety of the sniper to a large extent. If it is further strengthened, he will become the most powerful long-distance sniper master in Lin Yu's territory, which is convenient for killing the ghoul leaders in many places. Just imagine, when clearing the lair, or resisting the tide of ghouls, someone can cross the pile of ghouls several kilometers away and kill the leader directly. How much does it improve the overall campaign? And all the GU he wanted were used to equip the long-distance Eagle Strike. After the final mastery, the long-distance sniper ability can surpass that of a 7-star treasure hunter, and that kind of power can be called destructive. At this moment, Lin Yu thought of the Roof City's rank 6 GU Destruction Storm. If the Alliance Command Center sends a shot at its own territory, the consequences would be unimaginable, but if there is an eagle attack above 3,000 meters, they will definitely be afraid, because if this kind of sniper wants to kill a person, it is really terrifying. Thinking of this, Lin Yu tapped the armrest next to him, and said with a smile, "Okay, I'll get you these GU, and you will work for me for the rest of your life, how about it?" After saying this, Wang Dong, who was standing in front of him, was dumbfounded. As the breeze blew, the simple ponytail on the back of his head was constantly shaking, shock and emotion were written on his thin face, and there seemed to be tears in his eyes. No, my lord, this is a sky-high price. I can't afford it. Wang Dong gritted his teeth and refused immediately. In the face of this huge temptation, he stabilized his bottom line. To be honest, if he can really match up, then he should be able to rank among the top dozens of treasure hunters in Roof City, and become the leader of the city from then on. Big shot. Then by learning combat skills, improving one's own skills, and cooperating with the sharing ability of various GU spirits, the intimacy of coexistence with them will increase, and the strength will continue to grow in the future. It is not difficult to enter the top 10 in the city. Such a soaring adventure is like a dream. No, hundreds of millions of people dream every day, but they can't dream of such a good thing. Not much, 80 million. Lin Yu looked at the market price. Ling Long gave a hint of the total price. Small Space GU, Little Dragon Power GU, and Big Spiral GU are not expensive special GU spirits. The Small Space GU sounds bluffing, it feels like it is linked to the laws of space, but in fact it doesn't have the ability to travel through space like the Big Space GU. Song can make you realize the existence of space to a great extent. That's all. It's useless for melee combat just to realize the existence, because their speed can't drive the small space GU to break through the space. Large space GU is precious. As a rank 7 GU, large space GU does not require you to use spiritual power or physical strength to drive it through the space. It will take you through the space by itself, and can move up to 1,000 meters. Can be used to dodge various attacks. It is the best GU for life-saving and melee combat. Xiaolongli GU, as the name suggests, is to increase strength, and long-range attackers can pour this power into bullets through spiritual power to increase the power. The bonus of Little Dragon Power GU is very simple. It is the power of a giant dragon, about 80,000 Jin. After sharing it with humans, it can increase by 24,000 Jin. That's 24 tons. The 24 tons of instantaneous explosive driving force will determine the initial velocity of the bullet, and it will continue to advance in the 1.4 meter long rifling of the Eagle Strike. Finally, it is transferred through the small space GU, reducing the ballistic, and then explodes instantly. The Great Dragon Power GU is the power of the Eastern Dragon. The power of the Eastern Dragon is equal to the power of 100 giant dragons. This is the rough data given by the League. This kind of power is probably enough to destroy half a small town. Then, Wang Dong cleverly added a screw cap. Applying a spiral force, the moment the rapidly spinning bullet explodes, a storm is formed, and that force is definitely greater than the original explosion itself. Even if it is to bomb a giant ghoul that is tens of millions of meters tall, as long as it hits the eyes, heart, and other parts, it can directly dig a blood hole in its body. The combined price of these three types of GU is around 75 million gold coins. And Eagle Eye GU is 5 million. As for rank 3 Breaking Wind GU, he has it now. And all these trophies were sold at the original price, and the price was about 30 million. Lin Yu is generally 20% lower than the market price, that is 24 million, and tax is also required, so it is estimated to be 22 million. The difference is huge. So Wang Dong still hasn't figured out how Lin Yu plans to sell it. Have you decided? Lin Yu took a sip of the wine, which was soaked in the body fluid of the Moon Queen, improving Lin Yu's physical fitness every day. He was not in a hurry, as if it was Wang Dong who paid the 80 million yuan. On the contrary, Lin Yu was waiting relaxedly. I can say yes, but I'm afraid I won't be able to. You still have to go. Lin Yu said firmly that he doesn't like people who are procrastinating, but now Wang Dong is a bit procrastinating. It is good. Not long after, Wang Dong gritted his teeth and finally nodded. He directly used spiritual power to condense a contract circle, then wrote down the contract of a lifelong servant, and dripped it into his own blood. Having been with Lin Yu for so many days, he already understood the mind and methods of this young lord, as well as his heart. From the bottom of his heart, Wang Dong has already regarded Lin Yu as his bosom friend, and he has never known him for years. The two are about 10 years apart. Rest assured now. In this way, you are my first retinue knight. Lin Yu used this title. Wang Dong was stunned for a moment, this word was no stranger to him. Retinue Knight is an honorary title, which only exists among Jazz. Those who have been granted the status of knights can appoint retinue knights to follow around, just like generals under the king, helping the lord expand the territory and conquer the world. Lin Yu's words expressed his ambition to Wang Dong. You want a title? Not only that, I want to be the number one in the big game hunting, and various firsts in the first year, because the rewards and privileges of being the first one are really very generous, and the current taxation has already made me a little dissatisfied. It has to be said that the tax rate reaches about 1.2%, the more expensive the more the loss. And increasing the contribution, the tax will be reduced accordingly, and even eventually there will be no tax and you will get the authority to open a store in your own territory. In this way, you can also enjoy a large amount of capital inflow, and the development of the territory will tend to grow rapidly. It is possible to get more privileges and rewards every year in the appraisal. This is a snowball approach. At present, Lin Yu still needs to achieve various goals of the league within the scope of the rules, so as to obtain more benefits. I see. I will work hard. Even though Wang Dong is free and easy, he lived as a prodigal son in the first half of his life, but now he feels a little unbelievable because of no other reason. Originally, Wang Dong planned to be a vault hunter with endless life and endless adventures in this film. Who knew that now he actually had the opportunity to spread his wings? Retinue Knight. If Lin Yu really became a knighted lord, then his status will be completely different from now on, and he will be able to follow suit, and he can establish a family and pass it on. Although the family will always obey Lin Yu's orders, this is the same as the lord. Okay, the contract is signed, you are my general, and of course I won't treat you badly. Lin Yu swept away these GU. Then synthesized a turn GU. Synthesis points only cost 10 points. Consuming 1200 points, Lin Yu synthesized 120 rank 1 GU into 60 rank 2 GU. Then, by spending 3000 points, 120 rank 2 Gus were synthesized into 60 rank 3 Gus, all of which were the most common GU spirits. Popularization GU. However, the value of rank 3 GU has already increased to the million level. On average, the value of these GU can reach almost 2.6 million. 60, that is 156 million. However, Lin Yu originally had a large number of GU spirits that were not used, all of which were in his own system space. Soon, Lin Yu's GU spirits began to be wiped out, and he was listed on the trading market, which was always lower than the original average market price. But it will not destroy the market, because there are so many people buying. There are also families, clansmen, lords, and mercenary groups watching. Various forces will have special people watching the trading market, and once cheap GU spirits appear, they will directly sweep up the goods. So in less than half an hour, Lin Yu got 90 million gold coins, some of which are still being sold, and it is estimated that they will enter his account one after another within a few hours. Lin Yu directly clicked on the high-level GU spirit market, and bought a rank 4 Eagle Eye GU. Rank 6 Small Space GU, Rank 6 Small Dragon Power GU, Rank 6 Spiral GU. After the 4 GU spirits felt that Lin Yu had no fighting space fluctuations and no special forbidden energy formation, they successfully crossed the channel created by the large space GU and reached Lin Yu's hands. The power emitted by the 3 rank 6 GU at the same time made the entire giant elephant crouch down for a while, and stood up again when the little elephant stretched its majesty. This is the impact of GU Ling's unwillingness to show weakness after meeting each other, enough to shake mountains and seas. Dragon Power GU is a huge toad. It is more than 10 meters high, exuding a bright yellow light, and there are dragon-shaped symbols surging around it, squatting on the back of the mountain and sea giant elephant, looking into the distance. Dragon Power GU does not necessarily have to be dragon-shaped GU. They only need the power of a dragon. That's it. This toad looked a little melancholy. For some reason, it seemed to be missing something when looking at the mountains and rivers in the distance, then glanced left and right, fought with the rest of the rank 6 GU, and fell asleep on the back of the mountain and sea giant elephant. And that space GU is a huge insect like a praying mantis, about half a meter long, with a purple-black light-flowing body, and cooing sounds from its throat anytime and anywhere. Spiral GU is the most stupid, just a whirlpool. There is a beetle in the vortex. This vortex is some kind of protective gas released by the beetle, so it has most of its spiritual power. Wang Dong, the contract, he guessed right, almost exactly. After contracting 5 kinds of GU insects, his body began to undergo drastic changes. Various lines appeared on his upper body covering his body. Toad's dragon power tattoos, small space tattoos, and beetle spiral tattoos were densely distributed on his back and shoulders, appearing on the arm. Nuo Li Jiao exudes a faint black light, and his muscle density has become greater, and the proportions of his body seem to have been slightly adjusted. An explosive sense of power appeared on the skin of his body, his eyes were sharp, and his breath was like a raging sea. After sharing, roughly 20% of the shares have been obtained. And there are windfalls, too. In addition to the dragon attachment of Dragon Power GU, Toad also has its own characteristics, slime defense skin, and advanced bounce. These were also shared with Wang Dong, allowing him to move around more sensitively. Powerful power spread in Wang Dong's body, almost ready to come out. You still need to train. I will give you 3 days to put down all your work. I will give you a training cabin to adapt to the new strength as soon as possible. After all, it is not so easy to improve all at once, and it is not so easy to improve 100%. Follow me. So, Wang Dong's eyes were moist. He never dreamed that Lin Yu would really spend so much effort to get himself so much. A full set of GU spirit configuration. My lord. Boom. Wang Dong suddenly knelt down on one knee and saluted as a knight. Lin Yu frowned. What are you doing? I remember when I recruited you, looking at your character was informal. Wang Dong raised his head seriously, stared at Lin Yu, and said word by word, the king treats me like a gentleman, and I will treat him like a gentleman. Haha, nothing. Lin Yu smiled kindly, and patted Wang Dong's shoulder. This he does not mean to be sarcastic, it is just what Lin Yu said lightly to express his joy and approval. That night, Wang Dong resigned from his current position and entered the training cabin to familiarize himself with his changed body. And the 3 rank 6 Gus found their favorite places all over the territory. The Toad is near the spring in the mountain forest, that is, in a water stream. This is a horizontal hole, which can resist the flow of the river. The small space GU floats in midair, in the forest not far away. In the middle of the back. The last spiral GU was motionless near Wang Dong's cultivation cabin. Spiral GU is a construction GU. Most of the time it is used to build a territory, to make holes and pits. But what Lin Yu is most optimistic about Wang Dong is that he has a big brain and uses this GU to infuse spiritual power with additional abilities. His brain is very useful, and in the future, the matter of matching GU spirits can be left to him to manage. In the peaceful territory, Lin Yu walked and inspected everywhere. Half an hour ago, all the transactions were completed, and Lin Yu got 67 million gold coins. Adding the millions he saved, the total is about 71 million gold coins. It is equivalent to 5 years' income of the Lin family's Far East heavy industry. Lin Yu is already rich. He saw that the blood medicine in the field grew faster, and the scope of the farmland expanded a lot, increasing by about 1.8 times. The little elephant was not by Lin Yu's side today, and was still absorbing the body essence of various ghouls. Grow the body of the mountain and sea monster. Soon, Lin received an entry request. From Snow White. Bai Shui left the giant elephant territory before the second ghoul attack and returned to her company group. Now I have received a repair request from Lin Yu, and I have to bring someone here again. Bai Shui. Lin Yu, we have arrived, please allow permission. Lin Yu opened the authority of the mountain and sea secret realm, and then an airship about 500 meters into the range of the protective shield. The protective cover was shattered, and holes appeared in many places, but the houses in Shanghai town itself were not damaged. That means that such damage needs to be quickly replenished by the airship, otherwise it may take a week to automatically repair. The repair speed of the shield is relatively slow, and it is obviously not suitable at this time. The airship is called the Blue Wave, and it is fully built with a mechanical metal alloy S Class 2 model, and the inner core is the heart of a 1,000-meter level dire bear. Can pulse repeatedly to erupt energy. With energy, the airship has a long source of power. Different energy sources have different effects. If you use the heart of a giant leopard, you can obtain an explosive source of power. After entering, Bai Shui, who was standing in front of the panoramic French windows at the front of the airship, felt that something was wrong. She overlooked Lin Yu's territory, and in addition to detecting the extremely terrifying 3 auras, she also felt that the width had increased. The width of the mountain and sea monster increases, not to mention the length. Is it getting bigger again, Xiao Yu, feel Afei? Bai Shui asked a little nervously. The reason why she was nervous was because she had already overestimated Lin Yu as much as possible, but it turned out that she had actually underestimated Lin Yu. The growth rate of his territory is too fast, it seems that every few days, it will grow a lot. Yes, ma'am, it's getting bigger again. It's now 3,957 meters wide. The altitude is 4,200 meters. The length cannot be measured, and it has exceeded our detection range. Quote. That is more than 12,000. The detection range of the Lanbo S Class II airship is 12,000 meters, and if it cannot be detected, it will increase again. Instead, there will be several habitable lots again. Whether it is used to build houses or cultivate farmland, it is a good thing for Lin Yu to increase prosperity. If you get rich, it really is a windfall. But this is also the reward for resisting the tide of ghouls. Really great. If the news just now is true, it would have sold something worth 156 million yuan first. Then I bought another 80 million yuan, and now there are at least 70 million yuan left. In addition to paying taxes, the financial resources are really terrifying. Both Tian Gang and Shu Shu have big family backing. None of them could pose any threat to Lin Yu. Quote, don't say it's them, I've never seen a lord like Lin Yu before. Xiao Yu couldn't help complaining when mentioning this, but her eyes were full of admiration when she complained. Lin Yu is simply the idol of young people now, especially Xiao Yu is only 1 year away from becoming a vault hunter. She was also among the best in the academy, and her reputation was not bad. Lin Yu always won the first place in various simulated treasure hunting activities at that time. It was already famous at that time, and it is even more powerful now. Almost everyone in the city does not know Lin Yu. This person, we must have a deep friendship. Bai Shui made up her mind, we can't let him be won over by other companies. The more help we give him, the more we may get in the future. He is a man who will pay back his favor and pay back his hatred. The person who reported it, I can be sure. Bai Shui's beautiful eyes flickered a few times, and she pushed the slightly curly long hair on her forehead behind her ears. Said firmly, the territory of the mountain and sea giant elephants is still growing, and the fields are increasing, so they have more to do. And it's hard for anyone to imagine that Lin Yu survived the tide of ghouls almost easily. As for the huge humanoid corpse in the Kanazuki Valley, it has nothing to do with him. Naturally, people from the Alliance Center will study it. From ancient times to the present, there are not a few ancient and powerful vault hunters. After Lin Yu opened his authority, he waited in the commercial area of Shanghai town. Bai Shui got off the airship and asked Xiao Yu to manage the repair of the shield. The maintenance cost this time was 1.12 million gold coins. Ordinary people can't afford to consume it, even some middle-level families will choose to let the shield slowly recover after absorbing the aura of the field. It doesn't matter if it takes a little longer. It's not far from spending extra coins either. Lin Yu is indeed a big family. Brother Lin Yu, you seem to have made a lot of money this time. There was a peach blossom-like smile on Bai Shui's face. Fortunately, the main thing is that there are no casualties, and the more you earn, the less you earn is secondary. Lin Yu stood upright and said calmly, while looking up at the airship repair shield. It looks a bit similar to Clay Gu. They are both simple and slow flying according to the established route. Clay Gu crawls slowly, fills in the gaps, and repairs with the mucus it secretes. Is this like this? Bai Shui felt ashamed after hearing this. This brother, is he serious? Or is he showing off? No, Lin Yu is not the kind of person who shows off. But the harm of these words is quite high, and the insult is not low. What does it mean to have no casualties? It doesn't matter if you earn more or less. The Lord is lucky to be alive, and you don't seem to be very happy that you didn't have any casualties. Ha ha ha, brother Lin Yu is really a dragon and a phoenix among men. There is no way. Bai Shui can only use her smile to cover up the sadness in her heart. 3 years ago, when she encountered the tide of rank 6 ghouls, she survived the initial stage with her family's money, and then recruited people, and got a 100-member mercenary team, and cooperated with other mercenary groups, and survived the crisis. Lin Yu was alone, pulling up such a large team. It's only the first month. Brother Lin Yu. The first review will be held soon. After this wave of ghouls passes, there may be special people coming down. Do you need any help here? What, are you going to ask me to make another concession on the contract? Lin Yu said with a smile. After all, when Bai Shui spoke like this all of a sudden, she meant to be courteous for nothing. Where is, Tisk? Bai Shui curled her lips. What a shame. I have rarely been so nice to people. No, the main reason is that Lin Yu's younger brother is rising too fast, and the people in the province may do something secretly. It's so good, and you treat it kindly. It's not okay after all. It's not that you can sit back and relax. Most people still do whatever it takes for their own interests. Kind. The vault hunter accompanying him twitched. This is kind. I'm afraid I haven't seen the time when the Lord kills people. This young vault hunter saw with his own eyes the scene where Lin Yu shot 2 heads and 2 heads were blown to pieces, and Tian Gang didn't dare to say anything after it was over. Although he is usually gentle, mature and calm, but once someone provokes him, it will definitely not end well. I know, Lin Yu forced a smile. People who drink horses from the Yin family will always turn to their family. Yes, Bai Shui can indeed help in this regard, because she belongs to the Bai family. The White Valve is not in the province of drinking horses. But there is also business responsibility. There are 3 earls in the family, and a marquis ordered his wife. The status is not ordinary. You can go directly to the Emperor of the Alliance. For a big family like the Yin clan who sealed off the border, it was more than enough. But when you need my help, just ask. Maybe I will ask you to help my sister in the future. Thank you, old lady. Yu Tiantian's words floated from afar. She was training Vault Hunter combat skills, and happened to come to Kai today to pick out some special long-range and short-range weapons and equipment. She heard Bai Shui's words out of the blue, so she answered her. Lin Yu said in his heart that he was awesome. Good old sister. You're welcome, as long as you can help. Bai Shui almost gritted her teeth and said. Lin Yu waved his hand. Let Yin Ma Yin do whatever they want. After finishing the conversation, while waiting, Lin Yu and Yu Tiantian drank delicious drinks and ate snacks in the business district around 5 o'clock. The league sent out today's leaderboard update before closing hours. Lin Yu's contribution has risen to 6,500, much higher than Tian Gang and Shu Shu. But this is also because they are still under the attack of the ghoul wave, and Lin Yu has already ended the battle. Contributions may change later on. And the increase in this contribution made Lin Yu successfully enter the top 30 in the province's ranking. Ranked 25th, it has reached an unprecedented height in a roof city. After all, he kept a huge territory of more than 10,000 square meters, expanded a bunker, and killed almost 100,000 ghouls at the same time. This feat is amazing. At this time, Lin Yu suddenly received a call request from the communicator. Tang Zhuangzhuang, the secretary of the mayor of Roof Ridge. It seems that there is a good thing. Tang Zhuangzhuang is the chief's right-hand man, a big celebrity. She usually announces happy events and is responsible for contacting young talents. This time I contacted you, it should be because you repelled the tide of ghouls. Quote. 0, In fact, Lin Yu is not as simple as repelling the tide of ghouls, he is destroying the tide of ghouls, and he spent the money in half a day, turning it into his own fighting power. Hello. Lin Yu connected to the invitation of the hologram, but blocked other people, so only the sound of the communicator was produced, and each other could not see the picture. Tang Zhuangzhuang over there immediately understood that it might not be convenient for Lin Yu to answer the phone right now. Hi, little brother Lin Yu, it's a pleasure to talk to you. Her voice was crisp and clear. Zheng Se was very sweet. The image of an urban beauty with fair hair immediately appeared in Lin Yu's mind. Hello, what's the matter? It's like this. After the discussion, Chief Shi will definitely give you an honorary award and vigorously publicize it. Besides, I hope to discuss the opening of the territory. As the tide of ghouls over. It's almost over. Let me tell you secretly, it shouldn't take more than 3 days. Ended. Lin Yu was stunned for a moment, and subconsciously looked into the distance. The purple-black beam of light is still there, as if connected to the sky. The huge human-shaped corpse at 25,000 meters is still closing its eyes, clasping its hands together, and purple-black light balls are flying around, like beads. The ghoul's roar still resounded in the distant mountains and forests, with no sign of ending. You told me there are 3 more days to end. Oh, I see. Then, can little brother Lin Yu take time to come to the Alliance Center? Okay, Lin Yu replied, and it happened that he could also go to the Starlight Academy to meet his teacher, so that many things could be resolved. After hanging up the communication, Lin Yu didn't know why, but there was actually a trace of excitement and anticipation in Lin Yu's heart. The Medal of Honor is awarded to vault hunters who have made significant contributions to the Alliance. But now Lin Yu asks himself that he didn't make much contribution, but just took some actions to keep his own territory. With the tide of ghouls, any lord would not want to see his territory become a paradise for ghouls. It just so happens that Lin Yu can use the territory to fight. This was unimaginable before. There are nearly 10,000 numbered territories and hundreds of thousands of private territories in the Terran Alliance, but there is no way to have this kind of power. So it goes without saying what they want. However, Lin Yu didn't want to think too badly about them. After all, the human race is considered as an outsider on this continent and belongs to the weak. Most of the time, they still cooperate with each other and are united in their hearts. It's just that sometimes interests come first, and they all unanimously choose to ask for more interests. What's the matter? I guess it should be right, maybe it's good. Bai Shui leaned over and looked up at Lin Yu, wanting to know something from him. Lin Yu immediately nodded, it's a good thing. But maybe not. But the latter sentence Lin Yu just said in his heart, without expressing it. After all, people with ulterior motives may think that his sentence, 280, is wrong, if it is to be used to make some articles. What good thing? Bai Shui is more interested. After all, it is only a month before Lin Yu graduates. He is already a man who can attract the attention of the head of the Shi, and the speed of growth is not comparable to anyone. At least in the whole Roof City, Lin Yu is still the first person. It's just an honorary award, forget it, Linglong. I am here. Linglong flashed behind Lin Yu, and her graceful figure completely covered Bai Shui's temperament. The beautiful lower half of her face made people imagine her full face, but she seemed to be wearing a mechanical helmet. It's not easy for people to see the front face. Take good care of the territory. I'm going to go to Roof City, it will take about a day. Okay, Master. Linglong glanced at Bai Shui, and then stared at her. Wait, what do you see me doing? Bai Shui's face turned red all of a sudden. Absolutely, Lin Yu, you are guarding against me. I am so sincere to you. However, before she had time to speak, she had gone away again. The figure disappeared into Shanghai town. Lin Yu returned to Roof City through the teleportation channel. Probably around the 9300 field. To be precise, part of 9301 and 9299 belong to the range of Roof City. Roof City got its name because of these 3 territories. Because they are 3 huge turtles. With an area of more than 100,000 square meters, the total amount is at least more than 200,000. This kind of territory is very huge, and it can accommodate even more human races. In addition, the Science and Technology Research Center used various mechanical GU to build a living area on the 2nd floor, as well as a floating castle in the air. However, the castle in the air has a bird's eye view, and it is relatively quiet, and the spiritual power on it is more intense than that near the ground, so the price is relatively expensive. So the population is huge. After Lin Yu teleported to the Roof City area, the staff of the Alliance came to greet him immediately, and then the 2 of them boarded the vehicle, a fast suspension vehicle with a horsepower exceeding 500 yards, and headed to the Long Office Fortress. The back of the tortoise is a turtle shell, but it is not a round and smooth shell, but a rugged mountain peak and terraced fields, thus forming a gradient of the city and diversifying the buildings and streets. 10 minutes later, Lin Yu arrived at the castle on the ridge, a 3-story office building, and an Alliance Center building that accommodates 8,000 people. The escorting staff took Lin Yu directly to the 31st floor, and met a middle-aged man in a conference room of 400 square meters. Her hair is black and white, her hair is combed back, and she has a kind smile on her face. She is wearing a black suit and tie, but Lin Yu can feel that this is not an ordinary dress, but a spirit. The clothes transformed into have a very powerful defense function. Lin Yu, right, I'm Wang Delong. Wang Delong. The deputy of Wuji City. Sure enough, with his own identity, he can't see the head of the city, so it's pretty good to be able to see the deputy. This is the new Eagle Medal we awarded to you, worth 3,000 contribution points, and having the title of New Eagle Knight is one of the honors. Afterwards, you can open your commercial street. This is our greatest authority to help you, and then I hope you can choose a time to open your territory. Lin Yu nodded. That's no problem. If it's just this matter, it's all negotiable. I originally expected to open some areas in a month's time. But now we have just signed a contract with Lanbo Company. Most of the residential areas and commercial areas are under construction, and the interior decoration is still in progress, so it will take time. No problem, Mr. Lin Yu, we can afford to wait, as long as you agree. Well, there is nothing else to do here for the time being. Because it is the new Eagle Medal, which represents encouragement, so there will be no ceremony. I hope you don't feel shabby. Ha ha ha, of course not. Lin Yu smiled and stretched out his hand, and shook hands with Wang Delong, then left the office building. When leaving, the secretary Tang Zhuangzhuang came up from the lobby on the second floor to see Lin Yu out. This woman was wearing a bright red uniform, with big wavy red lips, fair skin and beautiful appearance, mature temperament, and a windy walk. When he spoke, he was straightforward, as if he and Lin Yu had known each other for a long time. I finally see you, our big star, now you are very popular on the internet. You flatter me. Haha, brother, I may ask you to do something. What? Please come up. Lin Yu smiled wryly, this is too familiar. Look, how could I lose you? Tang Zhuangzhuang always had a smile on her face, and she took out a golden card and a key. This is my counter key, and there are 30 million gold coins in this card. It's my personal request. Tang Zhuangzhuang's face was calm, and she looked at it with a smile. You accept it first, you can accept it or not, anyway, my sister will give it to you anyway. Lin Yu was stunned, he shook his head. No, let's talk about things first. He didn't dare to accept this gift. If he accepted it, he would be in a debt of favor. This woman is really amazing, and Lin Yu's relationship with her has been brought closer by a few words. Is that so? Okay, Tang Zhuangzhuang didn't feel embarrassed. She put away the card, but she was playing with the key in her hand. When she and Lin Yu took the elevator down, she continued to speak. When she reached the space where she was alone, Lin Yu Lin Zuodong, director of the Far East Heavy Industry Group, came to talk to me some time ago. Well, talk about what? Lin Yu's face didn't change much, which is normal in his opinion. The industry of Lin Group's Far East Heavy Industry has been hit hard for nearly half a month. The heavy industry is a mass industry, and whether it can survive depends on whether other companies give it a way to survive. In the past, because of long-term business, I was used to it. No one would destroy it, and no other company would do heavy work. The small family didn't dare to offend the Lin family, and the big family didn't want to work on heavy machine tools. After all, the profits of this industry are not very high. Don't be nervous, I haven't promised anything yet. Tang Zhuangzhuang pressed 9 layers, but didn't press 1 layer. After pressing, she said to Lin Yu, do you have time? About an hour. Well, yes, but hurry up, I have to go to the Starlight Academy. Lin Yu said directly. Very good. Tang Zhuangzhuang smiled, pressed a dial on the communicator, and then connected to the office. The next thing is to postpone all the work for 1.5 hours, I have important guests here. Receive. Ding. The elevator passage arrived, and Lin walked in. The 9th floor is a metal passageway, full of punk metal style. After walking about 200 meters, you can see a portal vortex. After the vortex passes through, the two are automatically sent to a very spacious manor. Surrounded by grass gardens and sculpture buildings. In the middle is a 3-story villa, about 3,000 square meters. It is an extremely expensive building. The gate is 11 meters high and looks like a palace. It feels more like a magnificent palace. But this is only one property owned by Tang Zhuangzhuang. The villa residence worth 45 million gold coins contains mustard GU, and this villa can be collected into a particle-sized back shell at any time. It's just that they can't go into battle, they just move real estate and some land, and they can't do Lin Yu's driving a huge mountain city to charge into battle. You can also display combat skills and nirvana. How much advantage this will occupy on the battlefield is unimaginable. Soon, the two sat down in the lobby on the first floor, and a maid came out from the inner room, brought coffee and snacks to Lin Yu, and then closed the door and went out. This matter is simple to say. Lin Zuodong wanted to reconcile with you, but because of face, he didn't know how to talk to you like this, so he came to ask the Alliance Center and then asked me. Tang Zhuangzhuang, only 25 years old this year, is still a girl who is mature, but still has the age of a cute girl in her heart. However, her status is not simple. The chief secretary means that he is the first person under the 5 chiefs, 1 chief, 4 deputy, and the housekeeper of Roof City. That's why she has a strong personality and a strong personality. Yu Zhuangzhuang can solve many things that men can't solve, not only relying on means, but also mind and connections. Ha! Lin Yu took a sip of coffee and said flatly, that's when they haven't reached the point of no return. In a few months, the family's capital chain will start to break, and there will be no future business orders. At that time, he will know that face is nothing. Since I promised to return all the resources that the family raised me, in fact, I have little relationship with the Lin family. It didn't matter at all, it's just that Lin Yu never regarded the Lin family as an enemy. What Lin Zuodong means is that he still doesn't want to be your enemy. Lin Yu chuckled lightly. No, there are no enemies, they don't exist, it's just that when I was developing, I somehow squeezed them out. Tang Zhuangzhuang suddenly understood what Li Yu said. It's not an enemy, because the Lin family doesn't seem worthy. In this way, I understand, then this is for you. Tang Zhuangzhuang took out her key again, which was her exclusive silver cabinet, all of which were stored in the Union Bank in Roof City, and kept in the corpse of a 6-turned sky-swallowing toad. The sky-swallowing toad is 30,000 meters high, and its interior space is intricate and majestic. Even in this world where the mountains are tens of thousands of meters high, it is unique in Roof City. The air at high altitudes is thin, but the spiritual power is rich. Absorbing spiritual power can turn it into air. People with strong bodies can climb tens of thousands of meters of peaks at will. Inside the swallowing toad, you need to use a minecart to enter, travel from the tongue ladder, enter the Tuntianko tunnel, and then pass through the throat to reach the black gold storage belly. That is where the silver cabinets of the major figures are located, usually containing some priceless treasures. Lin Yu took the key from her hand, with a puzzled expression on his face. He couldn't help asking, what is it? Treasure, equipment, firearms, or combat skills? Neither, both. Tang Zhuangzhuang's face is like a flower blooming, and her smile is very bright. It's a secret map, you may be interested. When I made a valuation. At that time, many people said that based on the black and white photos, it might not be what was the secret place before. But I don't think it should. This is a message that has been passed down for many years. Maybe you can decipher it. How about it? Are you interested? Lin Yu looked forward to it. Of course he was interested. The real secret is to find it with a map. After all, there are many places in this world that are hidden deeply and cannot be easily entered. How is it? Are you interested in taking a look? Well, it will take about half an hour to enter from here until you see the map, and it won't delay you too much. Now that you have decided, let's go. I have a photo and related information here, you can understand after looking at it. Tang Zhuangzhuang took out a file bag, which contained information related to this secret. If you're interested, you can stay and ask me more. I'm free every night. I'm the only one in this manner. Do you often date people like this? Lin Yu asked subconsciously, frowning all of a sudden. No, it's usually women. What do you think? The chief is my uncle, who dares to hit me. Tisk, amazing. Little brother, don't underestimate sister. My brother is not young. Lin Yu said with a blank face, and then opened the file bag. This sentence made Tang Zhuangzhuang stunned, and then he was stunned for a moment, then his tone was slightly disturbed, not as smooth as before, and he looked away to ease the embarrassment. Say what? This 18-year-old little brother. Lin Yu opened the file, saw a photo, and was dumbfounded. This is the so-called giant dragon's back mountain wall. We guess that this entire mountain range should be the corpse of an 80,000-meter giant beast, and these are its back. Lin Yu didn't speak, while Tang Zhuangzhuang continued to introduce. There are poisonous cures and powerful ghouls inside. Ghouls will appear every once in a while. Finally, at the end of the passage on the mountain wall, that is, at the head, there is a very powerful humanoid ghoul king. I don't know what level it is. Never went in again. This is when Li, the treasure hunter of my family, entered the nearby deep stream, then crossed the mountain stream and entered this paradise, and finally discovered this secret treasure. It's a pity that countless scholars have seen it, and they all think that the mountain wall on the back is still there, but the body has been completely transformed into a mountain range, so it is impossible for treasures to exist. They have all become various natural minerals. But there is no need to spend such a huge amount of manpower and material resources to find these minerals, so this secret treasure map was auctioned. The only thing before is this back. Maybe it's still a treasure that hasn't completely turned into mountains and seas. It can be used to create powerful equipment. It's also a compensation. I'll give it to you. Of course, it's possible to die, Tang Zhuangzhuang said calmly. Lin Yu nodded. His expression was still calm, but his right hand trembled. This point was caught by Tang Zhuangzhuang. Was he afraid? Or excited? Impossible. How could a man facing the tide of ghouls alone be afraid? That means excited. What did he discover that he was so excited that his body began to tremble? At this moment, Lin Yu looked at the winding mountain wall in the black and white photo, his eyes trembling extremely. This thing is nothing else. It is very similar to the Great Wall that everyone in Blue Star used to know. This is the real Great Wall, not the back of a giant dragon, or the high-tech equipment of the mechanical family. Either the remains of the prophets of the Wu clan, or the Great Wall in his mind. Beacon towers, passes, every stone brick is lifelike. He remembers clearly that this must be the Great Wall. So what is it transformed into? What kind of ghoul can be born? Needless to say, it must be a dragon. Oriental dragon. Lin Yu knew that there must be something he wanted here, and the Gu spirit born must be very powerful, so this secret treasure has not completely turned into nature and lost its spirituality. Instead, keep spirituality all the time, and no one minds at all, so there are still a lot of treasures. Okay, I accept your love. Well, brother, I also remind you, don't confuse me with the Lin family. As I said, I didn't promise anything to them. Okay, Lin Yu took a deep look at this woman. She is very attractive, enough to overwhelm many big shots, but she obviously didn't use this way to get to the top. She relied on a golden spoon. Very powerful. After Lin Yu said this, he got up and left. Tang Zhuangzhuang went out with him and sent it to the door. She leaned against the door enchantingly, waved her hand and said, I won't see you off. I asked for an hour and a half, and there is still 1 hour and 12 minutes left. I want to see you off. Get some sleep. If you're not busy, you can also accompany me. Tang Zhuangzhuang bit her lips when she said this. Next time, Lin Yu said calmly. Then he turned around and entered the vortex, and was teleported to the entrance of the corridor on the 9th floor. Lin Yu came out of the Alliance Center, left the building, and went directly to Starlight Academy. Came back this time. Besides dealing with these matters, he also had to meet with Mo Fei. In Starlight Academy, because of Lin Yu's arrival, many juniors gathered nearby to inquire. That's Lin Yu. Senior Lin Yu is back. It is said that he is the only person in Roof City who has entered the top 30 in the whole province in the first year for hundreds of years. That's right, Senior Lin Yu, this time I'm back. I must have overcome the tide of ghouls ahead of schedule. You are too ill-informed. I found out yesterday that it only took him 1 afternoon to kill the ghouls around the territory, and he also sold more than 150 million in funds. Too strong. This is too strong. Surprised expressions appeared on the faces of many people, watching Lin Yu off. Soon, Mo Fei's figure appeared in a torn space channel, slowly drifted out from it, and nodded to Lin Yu. Coming, teacher. Lin Yu bowed deeply. It was the same as when he went out to choose his identity on the first day. Could it still be the same, giving people a sense of wisdom? Always so unpredictable and knowledgeable. However, Lin Yu completely changed his personality in just 28 days. In terms of temperament, he already had the coldness of decisiveness and nobility. The so-called extravagance means gaining a foothold outside, gaining power, seeing the vastness of the world, and then becoming mature and resourceful. It's just, there's a sense of complete metamorphosis on the hierarchy. Come in with me, there are some things I want to give to you. Lin Yu followed teacher Mo Fei, walked through space-distorted circles of light one after another, entered a deep dark corridor, and turned into a room where rotating circles of light were violently flying. But the scene inside the aperture is a peaceful room. Mo Fei walked into the circle of light, appeared in the room, turned around and waved to Lin Yu. The law of space. The branch of the law of space is full of strange things. I don't know which branch it is. In short, could it be possible to hide a lot of things with this? Without him, others can't enter this kind of space world at all. If you can bring them here, you don't have to worry about any things that have ears on the wall, and you don't need to worry about someone breaking in suddenly. The conversation between them will become extremely safe. Teacher, I'm here. Lin Yu, your father, Lin Zhendong, and your mother, Yi Jin, were once my students, and now you are also my students. Something, I have to tell you. Mo Fei's eyes became cloudy. He turned around and took out a book on the bookshelf, opened a certain page of the book. There was another ripple of light, which was also a space channel. He reached into the aperture, and after getting a certain object, he stretched out from the aperture. It was a scroll and a diary. This is your mother's secret diary. She has made great contributions to the Alliance, but she is not a human race, but a ghoul. What? The beautiful mother with long blue hair and star-like eyes immediately appeared in Lin Yu's mind. Although there is no blood relationship, this is still very shocking to Lin Yu. Shock and Dad really have something. Humans are born to hunt ghouls, and ghouls are born to protect their territory, but he unexpectedly found a white ghost. There are heights. This is no surprise. Mo Fei put the locked diary on the table, while the scroll was spread out, squinting his eyes and pointing to the direction. Remember, Madman Mountain Range, Yangon Canyon, there is a junction here. I once went there with your mother and father, and was ambushed there. I have lost 300 years of life, and I am about to die, but your father has lost the brightest future, and your mother has lost the qualification to return to the human race to live a stable life. It is really tragic. But there are still some secrets and my doubts about this place. What doubts? Although Lin Yu was shocked, he quickly accepted the news. After all, Lin Zhendong had to spend a lot of energy to repay the so-called contributions over the years, so that his future in Roof City would not be affected in any way. Understood. But the night is full of ghouls. It really refreshes Lin Yu's 3 views, and the story seems to get complicated from here. My doubt is, what kind of place is this? I really want to know what kind of place we entered under the deep valley. We encountered crazy attacks, and the mouths of those ghouls shouting and roaring, as if they are not afraid of death. They don't know what death is, so they severely wounded us, and your mother had to release those monsters with the power of the Ghost Empress. I spent 300 years of life to take them away with the law of great teleportation, because the space is torn apart. Look how old I am now, hee. Could it be that he showed a rare smile and squinted his eyes to stare at Lin Yu, as if seeing the brilliance of some friends back then? Afterwards, we were threatened by people from the White Clan, so your mother's identity was exposed, and they cheated you out of a lot of money. Oh, by Valve, it's the Lanbo Group company that cooperates with you. Quote. Lin Yu suddenly burst out laughing. Lanbo Group. There is still such a relationship, so I don't. He was speechless for a moment, lost in thought. Okay, that's the end of the doubt. You have to be careful when you go in the future, because the ghouls there are really crazy. Every is a rank 5 ghoul. There is no reason at all. They will fight when I can't stand up. Even if only my head is left, I will yell at you in the dirtiest language. Speaking of this, could Fei hand over both the scroll and the diary to Lin Yu, then waved his hand and said with a smile, "Let's go. I just want to see you grow up. Obviously, your growth is beyond my expectations. Also, for my funeral, you can come or not. If you keep the first place in the city Zhao Qinhao, they may let you give a speech." Could it be that with a wave of his hand, all the scenes in front of Lin Yu changed, his vision blurred for a while, and when he regained consciousness, he was already standing at the gate of Starlight Academy. "This, teacher," Lin Yu yelled, but found no response. It was as if he had never been in the academy. The amount of information is too much. Lin Yu looked at the gate of the Starlight Academy. A huge and incomparable shield protected the academy inside, full of radiance and radiance. He reached out and patted his chest. Muttered, "I will live, I don't want to die a second time." Shanghai Town. When Lin Yu came back, Lanbo Group had already completed the restoration work. He looked at the re-stretched shield in the territory, with a trace of peace on his face. In the distance, flames were still erupting, and mountain torrents were shaking, but that didn't have much to do with him anymore. The territory has completed the supporting tasks and guarding tasks, and how the entire ghoul tide will end next has little to do with Lin Yu. So, another day passed. In the early hours of the morning, the people of the Rambo group completed their last part of the shield repair journey. Lin Yu received 1200 synthesis points in the system. The synthesis points received daily are 3 times the initial amount. Only a month has passed. Lin Yu is already very satisfied with this speed. He dialed the number of Kai in the commercial area. After the short forest at the back of the giant elephant, Kai was busy planning and building the commercial area of the giant elephant. When he received Lin Yu's communication request, he clicked dial immediately without any hesitation. Master, what happened? It's already late at night. Have you finished your blueprint yet? I have obtained the authority to open online stores and territory stores. The new Eagle Medal allows the opening of 30 stores. Have you figured out what to sell? Think about it. Kai seemed to be shocked, and then became serious. 30 shops. That's really unexpected. 15 are used for the arms business, selling equipment of different levels, and 15 are selling GU spirits. In this way, the entire street is our shop. You can save the tax on those online transactions. No, it's all used to sell food. Remember, it's all used to sell food, all kinds of food, meals, and accommodation. Store, accommodation. Is it really possible? Kai was stunned for a moment. Now, places for entertainment and rest are luxury goods, and only in the territory of the first few hundred numbers, people can enjoy life with peace of mind. The life there is much more extravagant, and each lord has extremely strong financial resources, which is not comparable to that of ordinary families. I said yes. Lin Yu hung up the phone, and then Suo directly tore up all the plans and arrangements in his own hands and then replaced the divided area of a commercial town with a food area. Call it Food City. He also doesn't know what Master Lin Yu is going to do. If he manages it like this, the qualifications of 30 shops may be wasted. But, that's right, it's a livelihood industry. In the early morning, after the workers completed today's irrigation and harvesting, they fell asleep, and the vault hunters began to arrange each other's patrols. Wang Dong climbed out of the training cabin. Crash. Water droplets dripped from his wet body. His body was already extremely strong, every inch of his skin was extremely firm and strong, and the various scars on his back, chest were completely healed at this moment. In addition, the pupils of his eyes became like eagle eyes, with amber-like winks. He could see anything thousands of meters away. Unprecedented power. I never thought that one day I could have such a ratio of GU spirit power. I thought I was dreaming. Wang Dong quickly tidied up the house, then changed into simple casual clothes, and walked quickly towards the door. For him, the unprecedented power brought him the need to work harder in the future. Otherwise, I will be sorry for Lord Lin Yu's kindness. He called his GU spirit along the mountain path, and 3 rank 6 GU, Xiaolongli GU and Small Space GU all came to his side, and Spiral GU was not a combat GU, so Wang Dong didn't summon it. After a while, he returned to the command post in the head area, and unexpectedly found that Lin Yu was still in the command post. My lord, have you finished the training cabin? Yes, fighting skills, melee combat posture, physical skills, knife skills and dagger skills have all reached the grade A. Wang Dong said quite proudly, and his long-range shooting ability and battlefield talent have reached the S level a long time ago. What he lacks is the melee ability. When I was on a mission before, once I was approached by a ghoul, I was almost at the mercy of others. So when encountering a large number of ghouls, he can only find a way to escape, or try not to touch them as much as possible, otherwise he will be severely injured. But it's different now. Wang Dong's tactics have been comprehensively strengthened, and with the complete ratio of GU spirits, the power they share is incomparable. Lin Yu nodded. That's good, there is a mission now, but we have to wait for a while. Next, you choose a team, about 4 people, plus you. You will follow me on the team mission. Yes. Wang Dong immediately summoned all the vault hunters. He was the leader of all the vault hunters in Shanghai town. If it was a small number of infiltration and assassination missions, he knew which ones were very suitable. The hidden treasure hunter who was sent out just returned to the command post, and was suddenly dumbfounded. How so? They felt the terrifying aura of Wang Dong, giving people the feeling that they could kill all of them in an instant. Just the aura emanating from their bodies has made these people unable to bring up any courage to fight. What has he been through? Unexpectedly, the cup spirit is directly matched and complete. 3 rank 6 GU. 1 rank 4, 1 rank 3, originally there were 3 rank 3. Now Wang Dong. What he is best at is Eagle Strike, maybe even Eagle Strike can be lifted easily. Team, Captain. Wang Dong stood up straight, and said firmly with his hands behind his back, you don't have to envy. Anyone who can make a major contribution in the future and is willing to follow the Lord wholeheartedly will definitely be able to match everything. What? Everyone was taken aback. All these terrifyingly precious GU spirits were all given by the Lord. Will you work hard for him in the future? You can also sign a lifetime contract. I wish for it. Chapter 91. My Lord, can we also? Can you? The corners of Lin Yu's mouth turned up, and he smiled and said, there will be, don't worry, Wang Dong signed a lifelong contract with me, and he also trusts each other, so I am willing to invest money to create GU spirits. Next, Wang Dong will select 4 of you and set out missions with me. Those who are selected will be rewarded with a rank 4 GU. You can choose whatever you want. Number 3. Ha ha ha. Rank 4 GU, that's millions, even tens of millions of special GU spirits. Cool. We are luckier than those family children. If we knew, I would have come to follow the Lord. Wow, don't recruit any more people. From now on, I will do the work of 2 people. They even have a sense of crisis now. If they continue to recruit vault hunters, it may pose a certain degree of threat to them in terms of numbers. At that time, all benefits will be distributed, then. I feel a little uncomfortable. Lin Yu smiled. Impossible, manpower still needs to be recruited. My territory is still in a state of rapid growth, and it is estimated that within a month, it will grow to 15,000 meters long. It will double in size. That's right, if you increase the length by 5,000 meters and increase the width and height at the same rate, you can get almost double the increase in territory. This is still in the case of mountains, forests and fields. If the wild area can be developed, the back of the giant elephant can become a residential area. Double. My God, it's only the first month. In the first month, I handed over such a terrifying answer sheet. I am crazy. Maybe I am really crazy. If I didn't see it with my own eyes, who would believe it? Haha, no way. Lin Yu waved his hand. There are currently only 4 special teams, and the leader is Wang Dong. From today onwards, they will follow me on missions. In the future, the number of recruits will be gradually expanded. After you enter the special team, you will lose your name and only have a number. The number also represents your overall ability ranking. Number 0 is me, number 1 is Wang Dong, and the rest will receive rewards according to their rankings. For the top 3, in addition to 20,000 gold coins, there is also a bonus of 100,000 gold coins every month. After saving for a while, you can use your money to buy your favorite equipment and potions. Besides, I will give out a part of the rewards for each mission. Is there any problem? There is none left. Everyone's faces were flushed, and their eyes burst into light. In an instant, their hearts were filled with excitement and anticipation due to the news. This is an opportunity to change your life. You just need to work hard for the Lord. Captain Wang Dong is a benchmark. He is giving sincerely. Look what he got. The value of nearly 100 million gold coins. Isn't this life worth it? If you are still like before, wandering outside, being an aimless secret treasure hunter, you don't know when you will die in the secret realm, the middle body must become the nourishment of the middle ghost. You must know that for ghouls, the human body and soul are the best food. Eating a human body can make the ghouls of one turn open their minds. If there are more human beings devoured, the evolution can be accelerated, and it is even possible to obtain many special abilities. Coming to Lin Yu's territory now, it's like being in heaven. There are mountain and sea giant elephants on missions, so there is no need for them to risk their lives. What the vault hunters had to do was to cause as much damage as possible before the shield shattered. Okay, Wang Dong stood up, standing upright like a dragon and a tiger, making everyone look over. knowing that the next assessment might be very difficult, otherwise such a high price would not be offered. Get ready, you need to hold on to the coercion I unleashed next, Wang Dong said with a smile, and before everyone could react, he suddenly stopped smiling. Suddenly there was a deep sound, and an extremely strong momentum suddenly broke out from the body. From him as the center of the circle, a storm broke out. Swept with a bang. As if there was a giant dragon roaring something in midair, the huge aura exploded in an instant with a ring-shaped shock wave. Bang bang. On the spot, two two-star treasure hunters knelt on the ground, foamed at the mouth, and then fell to the ground unconscious. The rest of the people tried their best to withstand the impact of the raging sea, but soon, in less than 5 seconds, another person fell down with a plop. The rest were foaming at the mouth, but did not lose consciousness. This is too strong. The spiritual power of the 3 rank 6 GU spirits is actually so strong. I can't hold it anymore. Lin Yu was sitting on a high position, and he was also in the aftermath, but Wang Dong protected him, only feeling the strong wind, but not being impacted. He looked at it for a moment and nodded frequently. That's really good. After all, the GU spirits are equipped. The leap in strength of the Vault Hunter is a qualitative change. Even if you don't need the contracted GU spirits, you can use various shared abilities and exercise your own spiritual power. His strength can completely surpass any GU spirit, so he is more able to control them. Bang bang. While thinking, 2 more knives fell down. Then one after another people staggered and lost consciousness. At this time, the difference in potential was reflected. A truly powerful Vault Hunter will also have a very strong willpower, and some will be a little weaker. Soon, when there were only 4 people left, Wang Dong stopped releasing the coercion. Puff, when the strength loosened, the 4 of them seemed to be pardoned, with relaxed expressions on their faces, and fell to the ground, panting heavily, sweating profusely, and their eyes wandering. The faces of these people turned pale, because their minds went blank. Too strong. This combat power no longer belongs to the range of 4-star treasure hunters. Wang Dong is at least as powerful as 7-star treasure hunters. Very good. Lin Yu stood up and said calmly, take a good rest today. Tomorrow morning, submit the rank 4 GU you want, and allocate your GU spirits reasonably. You can ask Wang Dong about this. After the matching is over, you need to train your cooperation with each other and improve your physical fitness. I will buy a training cabin for you, and after half a month, I will set out a mission with me. 17. Yes. The 4 selected Vault Hunters hurriedly struggled to get up, not daring to neglect in the slightest. After Lin Yu left, these 4 people were handed over to Wang Dong. Within 7 days, they had to complete a stage of training, and then continue to improve their tacit cooperation on the basis of increasing their personal strength. August 20th, a day passed. Lin Yu woke up from sleep. Moon Queen Ji brought up a glass of wine. She warmed it all night, just waiting for Lin Yu to wake up. Master, this is a new wine brewed from my bodily fluids, which will strengthen your physical strength. The Moon Queen said with a smile. Okay, thank you. Lin Yu drank it down in one gulp, with a faint floral fragrance. What are your plans for today? The Snow Lotus has recovered all its spiritual power and can evolve again. Really, take me to see later. Lin Yu stretched his muscles and bones, spent 30 minutes doing high-intensity exercise, exhausted all his physical strength, and washed up again. The Queen of the Moon prepared a bucket of water, and when Lin Yu came in, she began to wait. Seeing Lin Yu's strong upper limbs, he was a little dazed. Then he said, Master, you know that for Moonlight Wine Bug GU, if we want to improve our abilities, we generally need the assistance of our master. Okay, I know. Lin Yu was stunned for a moment, and there was something wrong with saying this. No matter male or female, Wineworm GU gives people the feeling of infatuation. They seem to only look for one master in their lifetime. If it is abandoned, or the owner dies, it will fall into depression, and then die slowly in depression. And the way to enhance the ability is also very strange. Draw some power from the master's body. Lin Yu laughed. Are you planning to improve your abilities? Yes, the silver-haired and white-dressed Moon Queen smiled gently, and then went straight into the barrel. The corner of Lin Yu's mouth twitched, thinking that it was true. The Moon Queen GU was absorbing moonlight every day, and then transformed it into aura, filling Lin Yu's territory. She provided pure aura for the growth of all things in the territory, but never received rewards from Lin Yu, so it was a bit of a treat to her. Although it is not a fighting GU spirit, if the auxiliary GU is promoted to a certain level, it will also give birth to some indescribable abilities. Especially the wine bug GU. A GU who is only loyal to one person in his life. Alright, Lin Yu intends to satisfy the Queen of the Moon's small thoughts, and at the same time give her some rewards. So, the two stepped into the barrel together. Half an hour later, the white mist rose, and both of them were flushed by the hot steam. Lin Yu saw that the Moon Queen was a little dizzy, and his eyes became a little blurred. Then he opened the system interface with a wry smile. Of course, only he can see this transparent interface, and the Moon Queen is still in a relatively shy state, keeping her head down and not speaking. And Lin Yu began to choose his own storage. Among other things, the pure energy stone. He still has a few extremely dense ones. Although it is a desert worm stone, it has also absorbed the aura of countless years and has undergone a radical change. Such a stone is very valuable. The energy stone has no other function, but it can provide a huge bonus to the GU spirit on the basis of the most primitive spiritual power. After synthesis, it will directly increase. If you describe the growth of GU Ling as a tree. Other attributes, elements, abilities, characteristics, etc., basically belong to the branches that branch out, and then become more lush. But this pure energy stone is different, it is equivalent to increasing tree owners. It seems that there is nothing wrong with letting this tree grow taller in the future. In addition, Lin Yu also chose a head crown of a roaring steppenwolf. That is a precious material dropped from the rank 5 ghoul, which can increase the offensiveness. Although I don't know what effect this aggressiveness has on an auxiliary GU spirit. But it's not useless at all, is it? Synthesis. Ding. Consume. Turn 4 Moon Queen GU. Consume. Rooting Steppenwolf's crown of rank 5 inches. Consume. High purity pure energy stone. Consume synthesis point. 1500. A milky white light covered the whole body of the Moon Queen, and then a steady stream of power poured into her body from all directions. A look of astonishment appeared on her face. Did she break through? Really strengthened. It turns out that taking a bath with the master has this effect. OMG. It's amazing. I actually broke through. At this time, a light cluster gathered on the top of her head, which slowly transformed into a crown, showing off wealth on top of her head, making her look even more holy and beautiful. Because of the bath, the graceful figure is quite moving, and at this moment Lin Yu is staring at her with a trace of pure appreciation. Because Lin Yu also got power feedback, which is a kind of power that he still can't understand. He needs to wait for the data from the system to come out and the synthesis and evolution to be completed before he can know it. But Lin Yu is very clear that he has become more vital. This is a good sign. Because of the synthesis system, Lin Yu can contract 0.3 GU spirits, a lot. He can choose slowly. The ratio of GU spirits for ordinary vault hunters is different for him. Lin Yu can at least contract hundreds of rank 1 GU, and even 200. If you want to choose a ratio, it depends on how far you can synthesize and evolve in the future, and how much ability you can add. The power shared with Lin Yu will also be stronger. Ding. Synthesis successful. At this time, the change is over, the Moon Queen's skin is more white and tender, and her face becomes holy and bright. She seems to be a mature goddess who has lost her childishness. Aura of agility began to appear on his body. Well, it's been enhanced a lot, which is amazing. The crest of the Steppenwolf endows it with powerful aggression and bloodthirsty. The pure energy stone grants a substantial increase in spiritual strength. So the monthly change is not very big. It's just that there is more aggressiveness in the eyes. And when looking at Lin Yu, it seems that his master is beautiful and delicious. Then, Yu stood up excitedly, and threw herself into Lin Yu's arms, splashing water everywhere, warm as spring. It's like getting into bed. It was also like a ball of freshly cooked meat smashed into Lin Yu's arms. With a slap, the water immediately flew up. It's great. Ha ha ha. I knew that together with the master, there would definitely be some improvement. Our wine worms are all improved in this way. Okay, I got it. Lin Yu patted her on the back. Although she was a queen, she was still a girl with an immature heart in front of her. Really, 05 Lin Yu clicked on the panel after synthesis. Moon Blossom Rank 5 GU Light Moon Goddess GU Spirit. Ontology Illustrated Book. Characteristic 1. Holy Light, passively released. Where the goddess of light and moon GU exists, it will be favored by the moonlight. The bright moon will bring changes in luck, improve the purity of spiritual energy, and increase the speed of growth and evolution within the territory. Characteristic 2. Level 2 Bright Moon. The bright moon characteristic makes the bright moon exist in the territory, permanently enhances the night vision by 20%, increases the attack by 8%, and acts on all biological and non-biological tools within the range. Characteristic 3. Fast brewing. The speed of brewing is increased, the speed of secreting moonlight juice is increased, and the blessing attribute of wine is increased by 78%. Skills. Moon Dance, Moon Cold, Drunken Moon Goddess, Wild Wolf Wine. Wolf Wine. A comprehensive improvement wine that allows Lin Yu to drink a bottle every day, and then increase strength, agility, and intelligence. Permanent boost. And the effect is very strong. The upper limit of the promotion has reached 5,400 points. In other words, after the attribute has been increased by 5,400 points, drinking it will have no effect. However, Lin Yu clicked on his current basic sketchbook. Host. Lin Yu. Age. 18. Physical condition. Healthy. Power. 1482. Agility. 1680. 1710. Physical strength. 2531. Passive. Civet, Advanced Life, Advanced Dodge, Eagle Eye, Quick Draw, Rapid Shooting, Lucky 7, Advanced Defense, Melee Master, Ranged Master, Advanced Strength. Skills. Lightning Strike, Capital Lightning, Heart of the Earth, Julie, Moon Brilliance, Moon Cold. The blue icons, purple icons, and orange icons one after another show how powerful Lin Yu is now. With multiple skills, Lin Yu's comprehensive strength far exceeds that of the same period, even surpassing many 4-star hunters. It is almost a perfect combination. He has never learned anything except witchcraft or magic or the ancient Eastern martial arts. But Lin Yu has already learned all the modern skills, condensed into various melee range techniques. As for the goddess of light and moon, too many interesting new functions have been born at this moment, Lin Yu reading, and it took a long enough time to think about the importance. Sure enough, once the ability of auxiliary GU is developed, it is actually no less than Earth Phase GU. As for Celestial Physique GU, it is illusory and the price is too high, so it is not within the scope of consideration for the time being. Especially the feature of the second level Bright Moon can increase the night vision, and it is 20% of the vision. Most importantly, both living and non-living things can be blessed. Adding Wang Dong's Eagle Strike, it might be equivalent to owning a super cannon now. What's more, Lin Yu now has a new idea. If it is said that non-living things can also improve night vision, it means that as long as the range is sufficient, the guard function will not be lost at night due to darkness but will be strengthened. Some defensive towers can be built on the head, sides, buttocks and tail of the mountain and sea giant elephant. There are many types of defense towers. Arrow Tower, Laser Tower, Magic Energy Tower, Witchcraft Tower, Garrison Fortress. This is the classification that humans have discovered so far. The Arrow Tower, as the name suggests, uses skills handed down from ancient times, combined with spiritual power and certain technologies, to forge powerful spiritual power arrows. Laser Tower, the ability of technology. The Magic Energy Tower comes from magic energy. The Sorcery Tower is sorcery. Garrisoning fortresses requires manpower to enter, and of course the effect will be more flexible. Sooner or later, the mountain and sea giant elephant will go far away, go deep into the hinterland of the ghoul to explore the secret treasure. After all, Lin Yu currently has 2 maps in his hand. One is the Great Wall, which he is more interested in. The other is the Madman Mountains. Could it be that the teacher gave it to him, and it recorded an important past event between his father and mother? And it's also related to the White Clan. It is estimated that the people in the White Clan know that place, but everyone hasn't figured out what kind of corpse that terrain is. What part is it? Nostrils, mouth 510 bars, or a blood hole from a wound on the body? It's all possible. Thinking of this, Lin Yu checked his remaining gold coins. 71 million, stored in the Alliance network connected by the communicator. There is still a lot of space for him to use. One night passed, because she broke through with her master after taking a bath. Yu was almost hanging on Lin Yu's arm, never leaving her. She has tasted the sweetness. And after Lin Yu woke up, he just touched her head, feeling that the wine bug girl was pure in her heart. She was very tired yesterday, so today's wine came a little late. He drank wild wolf wine, muscle-enhancing wine, and jade bone wine. Lin Yu's physical fitness increased a lot again, and then he left the atrium villa and walked towards the town. Today is going to be a big fight, and it is almost time to arrange defensive measures. Only by doing a good job of defense can tourists come in more confidently and boldly. Moreover, with the second-level bright moon and the holy light, Lin Yu is confident that there will be several times more people willing to come to the territory than before. Then the cost of entry and the cost of living have to be raised again. You can make a lot of money again. Sure enough, being a secret lord is much better than being a secret hunter. Just when Lin Yu was going to pick a defensive tower, the rest of the battlefield was still a mess. However, the number of ghouls seemed to be slowly decreasing, and the follow-up ghouls did not rush forward one after another. Territories 9521, 9522, 9523, and 9526 suffered heavy casualties, and the entire town was engulfed in flames. The darkness engulfed the light, and even when it was dawn, the sun swaggered down, and the entire area was dark. The smoke of war, the resentment generated by death, and the beam of light produced by the newly condensed spiritual power when the Gu spirits scattered out, turned the sky into black, while the ground was colorful. At number 9521, in the 10,000-meter territory of the execution mantis, Tian Gang sat slumped in front of a huge stone, with a dazed expression on his face. After struggling to stand up, he looked back, only to realize that it was the arm of a white-clothed talisman ghost, not a stone at all, and inside the arm was a talisman pen. But if you look carefully, it is a stick insect that has just absorbed a large amount of ghoul aura and life essence. It's Gu Ling. It's just that the shape is like a pen, and there will be ink-colored mist floating, which is called Fu Shui Healing. Rank 5 Gu spirits can enhance the ability of talisman masters and increase the success rate of runes. They are extremely precious. There is no selling price in the market, only auction bidding. The highest price wins. Tian Gang sent it. Such a top-quality Gu actually appeared here. He felt a little like a lifetime away, and looked at the ghoul that was fading away like a tide. Tian Gang heaved a sigh of relief, and leaned against the stone again. He drank all the potion, and repelled the tide of ghouls with his willpower. Did you win? Tian Gang muttered to himself in disbelief. Until this time, he thought that he was about to die, and he couldn't see the moment when the sun rose. However, it survived after all. The burly hunk let out an earth-shattering roar. Ah, this is not a fear, but a way for him to express his inner emotions. It has to be said that after this war, his disposition has changed a lot, especially despair. The 13 blockade battles all failed, and the territory retreated again and again, and there was only 10 minutes of rest every day. Most of the hunger and fatigue needed to be supplemented by the nutrient solution in the rest cabin. If it weren't for the huge financial support, the execution mantis would have fallen. Now, finally back. However, Tian Gang was a little puzzled in his heart. Why was he not very happy after retiring? Just not happy. Till the end, Tian Gang didn't see any king-level ghouls at rank 5, nor emperor rank. Could it be that the hundreds of thousands of ghouls are just cannon fodder at rank 1 and rank 2? There are not many ghouls in the third rank. Although ghouls have a strong reproductive ability, as long as a group still has a core, so many creatures can be reborn in half a year. Because the aura between heaven and earth is still enough. But even rank 4 ghouls are rare. Tian Gang felt that something was wrong. There were a lot of them, but the quality was really bad. It's not right. Although it's over, I'm not happy at all. Tian Gang sighed, looking at the vault hunters searching the battlefield in the distance. Everyone was in a state of weakness. Even the most basic collection requires a lot of energy. Not only here, but more than half of the other 3 territories have also fallen, all when the tide of ghouls was wiped out when they were almost lost. They left inexplicably, but in fact, these treasure hunters had already made up their minds to die together at any time, and as a result, the tide of ghouls receded at the critical moment. So, 10 minutes later, Thousands of vault hunters in various regions had settled down, and the newcomers who graduated this year participated in the battle, as if they had survived the catastrophe. I won. We seem to have won. The tide of ghouls has receded. It receded like this, I thought I was going to die. The casualties were too great, more than 4,000 vault hunters died in our territory. It's not bad, we don't have a big family to support us here, and more than 5,000 people died. Long live the death penalty mantis. Long live the TN family. The rest cabin is launched free of charge, and anyone can enjoy it. As long as you have made contributions and killed ghouls, you can enjoy it all. It's so cool. Execution mantis will kill more than 1,000 people. We have passed the tide of ghouls this year. There are newcomers touting, countless people are shouting and howling, and they are also constantly roaring. On the internet, they are expressing their aftermath for the rest of their lives. At this time you are playing Lin Yu. Blowing every day, Lin Yutian just moved out of the rest cabin. So what about Lin Yu? Even though Shanghai town has few casualties, it's because Lin Yu has the ability of Earth Phase GU. Yes, if I have such a giant mountain and sea elephant, I can also avoid the battle with fewer casualties. We have been fighting for so long, can he match the number of kills we have? Isn't it the brain-damaged one at the top? After finally surviving, money is good came to start a war. Lin Yu ranks first in the contribution list, is there any comparison? Why didn't Tian Gang and Shu Shu catch up? For a while, in the forums and various group chats at the same time, Lin Yu started a debate with Tian Gang and Shu Shu, but it is obvious that Lin Yu's contribution has reached 9,500 today. Because of the new Eagle badge, it is already among the best in terms of contribution. Lin Yu also saw the various debates on the internet at the moment. Lin Yu didn't care much about comparing him with Tian Gang, he mainly observed something. In the 5 territories mainly attacked by the tide of ghouls, except for him who wiped out all the ghouls fighting within one day, all the ghouls in the other territories were all withdrawn within a short day. This is a bit outrageous. Very strange. This seems very strange to Lin Yu. The ghouls like to fight and have an endless relationship with humans. However, low-level ghouls have no intelligence. They will obey the orders of the upper class. Just like the clans and families of the human race, in the entire ghoul tide country, there are also powerful clans of each other. Generals, king-level, and emperor-level ghouls can command the beast tide. Therefore, the large-scale retreat must have something to do with the orders from the upper echelons. Then why, the upper echelon of the ghoul wave issued such an order? Lin Yu frowned, puzzled. And what Tang Zhuangzhuang said to him at that time also appeared in Lin Yu's mind. Within 3 days, the tide of ghouls will definitely recede, which means that this woman must know something. It is not known whether these words were blurted out, or intentionally addressed to Lin Yu. That's interesting. Are the ghouls so obedient? They just retreated. Lin Yu smiled wryly and shook his head. Could it be that some strong man came behind him secretly, so he could control the situation? If 170 is really, then he should be careful. Class group. Shu Chengqing. Everyone, report your name, I think who died. Shu Tian. Brother, can't you speak nicer? Long Dabao. Half-life is gone. Yu Yao Yao. It's not fun. Lin Yu. Momo. Yao Yao, what are you talking about? Shu Zhen. I heard that Lin Yu's territory completed the battle on the first day, and rested for the next few days. Shu Chengqing. I'm in number 9522, the territory of the giant fire ox. This place is suitable for positional warfare. It's considered a miss. There are more than 1,000 casualties. Momo. I'm here with Tian Gang, that kid is really bleeding, I bought 30 for the rest cabin, and my blood recovery has never been so fast, and the state is full within 10 minutes. Awesome. Shu Zhen. Buying 1 is 1 million, and 30 is 30 million. I don't believe you when you say that his family doesn't help. A normal vault hunter earns 1 million a year. He's still a newcomer. Chen Zhang. My family is poor. I have never earned more than 300,000 yuan in this life. I am so angry with these rich people. As expected, I can't beat them, the children of the family. Yu Yao Yao. I don't agree with that. Lin Yu is also alone, look at the contribution list. Lin Yu. Chen Zhang. 9,500. How did you do it? Shu Chengqing. Lin Yu won the new Eagle medal. When this sentence came out, most people chose to shut up. Those who can't envy just won the new Eagle Medal. How many years have passed, and I saw a newcomer get the Medal of Honor in the first year. This means that he has worked more than others. A new Eagle Medal is equivalent to 3,000 contributions, which means contributing nearly 5,000 square meters of territory, plus Lin Yu can also get many privileges. For example, the tax deduction is 3%, the income limit is increased by 5%, you can build the first territorial army, and you can own the second town. These are the envy of other lords and secret hunters. If the lord does not have a medal, it means that many things must be reported to the Alliance Center, written applications, and can only continue after obtaining approval. At this time AFDC, if there are people with ulterior motives, they may use the power of the family to get this report card down, and then the impact will not be a day or two. I'm jealous. Envy. I can only say envy. I would have chosen the Lord if I knew it earlier. Yes, many juniors in my family have said that they want to choose a Lord. How free the Lord of the Vault is. Look at Lin Yu. Now, the hordes of ghouls have been dealt with on the first day. If there is no support task, he will stand still and start construction in the territory by himself. The students in the class group felt tired all of a sudden. It's like asking everyone to go find a job after graduation. But suddenly someone in the class directly chose to start a business. Then when everyone was not optimistic, he became a big entrepreneur. At that time, they were still working hard, and some of them hadn't even gained a foothold in this world. Lin Yu. Don't imitate me, it's hard, I'm just an example. Everyone, don't blindly follow the trend, and tell the juniors in your family, you have to face a few problems first after graduation to become a treasure lord. 1 is the shortage of resources, 2, insufficient manpower, 3, the introduction of population, 4, the defense of the territory. If you can't solve these 4 problems, don't easily become the Lord of the Vault. After all, I was working hard by myself in the first period of time. This passage is thought-provoking. It has to be said that Lin Yu's maturity and hard work are not what he should have in his grade. People all over the world yearn for treasures, and what young people want is to get the most out of their adventures, and there are endless treasure. The mystery of the unknown gives people infinite excitement. There are very few young people who can sit still and maintain development, and Lin Yu has such a long-term perspective. XXR. All of a sudden, the group became deserted. As if thinking. It took a long time for Long Dabao to send a serious message, asking Lin Yu. How long have you been working hard? Lin Yu. About 20 or so hours. Shu Chengqing. W. Yu Yao Yao. Long Dabao. Momo. Shu Zhen went offline. Shu Tianxia is offline. Chen Zhong went offline. When the tide of ghouls ended, Lin Yu didn't ask too much why it ended, because at this time, it had already returned to a certain kind of calm. Silver Cabinet. Lin Yu has no time to get the map of the Great Wall's secret realm yet, and his territory still needs to be developed, because it cost 80 million to build a Guangdong. For the 4 team candidates selected last night, it cost 17 million gold coins to purchase 4 rank 4 GU. Then the next candidate is, of course, Yao Yao. The relationship between Lin Yu and Yao Yao, a bit unclear. Sometimes people say it's Yao Yao's wishful thinking, but Lin Yu is obviously a bit interesting, but Lin Yu is too mature, and sometimes feelings don't seem to be considered. But when he needs it, he also has a solution. Now, Lin Yu is taking advantage of the fact that the flag has just died down, waiting to watch the official announcement. The Alliance Central Command Post has a satellite mechanical GU that can see many scenes on the battlefield, and can also obtain a large amount of data through induction. Through the calculation of the data, mechanical GU will calculate the ranking and kills in a few seconds. The Lords belongs to the individual, and the Vault Hunter belongs to himself. Then publish it. That's why Vault Hunters have a communicator. The communicator is one of the sensing data. They will automatically capture the spiritual power fluctuations of the killed ghouls to measure their level. This moment can be said to be the moment that many newcomers are looking forward to. At least countless people are waiting to see who can stand out in the first wave of ghouls this year, and the surviving Vault Hunters will also look forward to whether they can be among the best in the leaderboard. It's not just about honor. This is also linked to their salary levels afterwards. The people who rank at the top will get a combat power evaluation bonus, so that the value will also increase. When hired by a lord or a mercenary group, the wages they can get will be higher. Some even offer long-term contracts. For example, 8 million in 3 years, 10 million in 5 years or something. So this is very important. So at this moment, everyone flooded into the Alliance's public screen, and many vault hunters were watching on the spot in Roof City. At this moment, the same is true for Lin Ling and Lin Zuodong of the Lin family. After this period of time, Lin Zuodong has aged a lot. He has accepted the fact that he was defeated by Lin Yu in the market, and he has also received the words conveyed by Tang Zhuangzhuang. Lin Yu didn't regard them as opponents at all. Rather than saying that Lin Yu was targeting them, it would be better to say that Lin Yu cleared the obstacles on the way to develop the territory and eliminated the Lin family by the way. As it turned out, Lin Zuodong had to find a way to apologize to Lin Yu besides being sulking. He really should apologize. This matter has become a demon in his heart. For hundreds of years, the Lin family has been running this industry in Roof City, which is already a family inheritance. The annual income of 15 million gold coins is their entire life. Because most of the families are merchants, there are few treasure hunters to train them, and because their lives are comfortable and rich, young people are willing to become merchants in the territory after they are born. Feed vault hunters. Cause the family to stagnate. Now it's hard to come out with a soaring Lin Yu. I actually fell out with Lin Yu very short-sightedly, and asked him to return all the resources he cultivated. Spread the word. The old face is really unbearable. Every time Lin Zuodong thought of this incident, he would be so ashamed that he would bury himself in the quilt, so ashamed that he could not lift his head up, and the resources he had cultivated would be taken back. And then set up a big enemy. What the hell, he is the pillar of my Lin family. You can take us to be a big family. It's okay to be a medium-sized family. The result is now. Lin Shengwei said weakly from the side, remember to keep your word. If Lin Yu is number one, you can apologize. Yes, Patriarch, remember to apologize. Master, this moment is what we've been waiting for, be happy, Lin Yu will definitely be number one. Yeah, be happy and smile. I laugh at you Hamapi. I can laugh my ass off. Don't be the first. Let Tian Gang play a role. Under the spotlight, the list has started. Starting from the top 50, one by one, 10 people were released at once. I'm in the top 50, ha ha ha. Someone directly uttered cheers in the group, ecstatic. Entering the top 50 means that his development path will become extremely spacious. At this moment, even if there is no suspense, Lin Yu is paying attention. Because he was waiting for the ranking to end. Top 40. Top 30. O+. The speed of releasing the list slowed down when they entered the top 10. One by one to go out the name. 10th. Xu Changqing. Xu Changqing. Haha, I'm actually 10th. Momo. I'm envious, now my value has at least doubled. Xu Changqing. Tian Gang approached me before, and signed me to his mercenary group for 1 million yuan. I refused. Now I'm afraid I won't be able to double the amount. If it is doubled by 10 times, it will be 10 million, and no one can afford it. Lin Yu, you can set up a mercenary group yourself, and I will give you 10 million as funds. Xu Changqing. Lin Yu's sudden speech stunned Xu Changqing. Although the family could afford 10 million yuan, it was not easy to manage. Tian Gang's 5 million yuan fund was already desperate. He managed a lot before agreeing. However, there are far fewer restrictions on the transactions between vault hunters, not to mention that Lin Yu has now received the new Eagle Medal, and he has some privileges to avoid risks reasonably. Xu Changqing knows Lin Yu's personality, so he doesn't usually tell jokes. You mean it when you say it. Xu Changqing. Let me think about it, I'm afraid of losing money. Lin Yu. No loss, I have too many bounty missions sent out here, and my own people can't leave the territory, and I have other places to explore. You are a mercenary group. We are. Okay, Xu Changqing agreed after thinking about it for 5 seconds, and he really thought about it. Soon, 7 of the top 10 names came out. Everyone paid attention to the Alliance public screen interface again. 3rd, Tian Gang, battle time, 78 hours 52 minutes 49 seconds. Number of kills, 4,309 general level kills, 12 king level kills, 0 emperor level kills, 0 contribution points, 3,210. He killed 4,309 ghouls by himself, god of killing. Tian Gang is really good, but is he ranked third? I'm crazy, who is the second and the first? So awesome. Before these people had time to be surprised, as soon as the voice fell, the second one also came out. Second, Shu Shu, battle time, 56H34M 49 kills, 1201 kill general level, 49 kill king level, 1 hit civilian emperor level, 0. Assassin, Shu Shu is the single-handed king. He was the single-handed king when he was in college. Lin Yu seems to have fought against him before, regardless of the outcome. It seems that the two of them are a bit similar. They are both lone rangers, but behind Shu Shu there is a big Shu family, and Lin Yu is a small family. I want to see Lin Yu's message right now. Everyone knows that Tian Gang and Shu Shu are both ranked third and second. There is no doubt who will be the first. The cliff is Lin Yu. There will be no one else but him. It's impossible that Lin Yu didn't even make the top 50. At this moment, Lin Zuodong's complexion was already pale, so no matter what stats Lin Yu had, he had to apologize. 0. Swish. The leaderboard was refreshed, and a gold-rimmed box appeared, listing Lin Yu's data, and displayed Lin Yu's holographic image, a clean boy with black hair and black eyes, with calm eyes and refreshing hairstyle. First, Lin Yu, battle time, 17 hours 49 minutes 31 seconds. Number of kills, 120,391 general level kills, 109 king level kills, 1 emperor level kills, 0. Once the extremely shocking data appeared, the entire chat channel on the public screen seemed to be in a state of stagnation. 120,000. Am I reading that right? He killed 120,000. 120,000. Has anyone achieved this data? In the territory of the execution mantis, Tian Gang stared at the data in front of him with wide eyes, and the water bottle in his hand burst. How is it possible? Why is he 120,000? I can't even count a fraction. My lord, then. The Lord counts as everything, don't you count as everything? Quote. A deep sense of frustration welled up from the bottom of Tian Gang's heart, making him blush all of a sudden, and unconsciously remembered that night, Lin Yu shot and killed 2 of his subordinates and then left with 200,000 gold coins. I didn't dare to do it myself from beginning to end. Now, on the leaderboard, it doesn't matter if he is crushed by Shu Shu. Shu Shu has the ability to kill king level and general level ghouls. But Lin Yu was outrageous too. He almost resisted the entire wave of ghouls by himself. Even if hundreds of thousands of ghouls were turned once and twice, shot one by one, and let him kill them while standing, it was impossible to kill them all within 18 hours. How did he kill it? Shocking data, shocking Lin Yu. At this moment, Lin Yu's name really resounded throughout Roof City, and those 4-star and 5-star veteran vault hunters were dumbfounded. Even if they are asked to resist the tide of ghouls now, it is impossible to achieve this level. This Lin Yu is too strong. However, strong also has strong disadvantages. Don't think that the ghouls will let him go. Those clans in the Ghoul Kingdom will definitely notice this news. How could the ghouls occupying 90% of the territory of the mainland have no organization? Congratulations, Lin Yu. Quote. I really didn't expect this data. In the class group, a group of people were so shocked that they almost exploded. Lin Yu's data unfolded and created a new history in Roof City. The tide of ghouls in the first month has actually gained so much data. 1275. A number so impressive from the past is enough to make any so-called genius bow his head. Even if he is the lord of the secret treasure, all the achievements in the territory are counted on him alone, but it is indeed too shocking. Lin Yu, it feels good. If you are the first, you will get more privileges. When I got the new Eagle medal, I actually knew that I was the first. Shu Chengqing. That's right, after I received the reward, I went to create a mercenary group. Lin Yu, okay, contact me when the time comes, and I'll call you the money first, mainly because I'm the first one this time, and the bonus seems to be 1,000 square meters. The corner of Shu Chengqing's mouth twitched when he was drinking in the death penalty mantis bar. This kid is really good at budgeting. The Alliance rewarded him 10 million, and he had already spent it before he got it. Invested money can have a lot of harvest. In the future, after the vault hunters raised complete the mission or find the vault, how to divide the proceeds, how to sell the equipment, internal selection, and how to reward the vault hunters who have won the honor of the empire, etc., all need to be discussed with Lin Yu to discuss. Because he is one of the founding partners of this whole link, so there is no shortage of decision making. At this time, in everyone's eyes and minds, Lin Yu's image and his shocking data are still echoing. Lin Yu appropriately dropped a recruitment message on the forum. Shanghai town recruits 200 construction workers, 5 architects, and 100 stonemasons. The salary level is 20% higher than the market. Those who are interested can contact Lin Yu immediately. Lin Yu is recruiting. I'm going. That territory is very safe, and I'll post it as soon as I can move in. Let's go. I'll go too. Someone has already started submitting resumes secretly. Didn't you pay attention to Lin Yu's old request? He doesn't need to have a criminal record, and all those with a criminal record just don't ask for trouble. Yeah, Lin Yu will also read the personality report. I guess it needs a good temper. Those who have a bad temper and like yin and yang, you should go to Tian Gang. Lin Yu's post was detonated in an instant, and countless people rushed to submit their resumes, regardless of whether they had a criminal record or not. Thousands of letters flooded in at once. Who doesn't know Lin Yu's name now? Just saw it on the screen, killing 120,000 ghouls. A walking giant elephant. At the beginning, people may still think that Lin Yu's fighting power is not very strong, and even if he stands firm, he will suffer heavy losses in this wave of ghouls because of his isolation and helplessness. Who knew it was so stable? It is said that it was only the shield that was shattered. The powerful firepower on the giant elephant almost made Gaiwu escape everywhere, and all of them died in the indiscriminate bombing. Therefore, this Shanghai town is probably one of the most stable territories on the entire continent. Who wouldn't want to go in? The most important thing is that Lin Yu's territory is still in a relatively stable stage of development. It lacks people and has not been open to the outside world. As long as the recruited workers perform well, they have the opportunity to become Lin Yu's aborigines. The first batch of aborigines will definitely receive preferential treatment in taxation. After most of Lin Yu's territories are well developed, they will naturally pay attention to the introduction of population. At that time, a real territory will be formed, and the annual tax revenue will reach several million, tens of millions. Then he can sit back and relax. At this moment, Lin Yu is setting up his second town on a panoramic simulation sand table. The first town, Shanghai Town, headed by Atrium Castle, built a complex of buildings, cement driveways, and farming fields nearby, suitable for 5,000 people to live in. In fact, the back of Lin Yu's mountain and sea giant elephant can be called huge now, and it can't be seen at a glance. With a length of 15,000 meters and a width of 3,800 meters, the area is actually more than 57 square kilometers, which is very large. Cut off the irregular area, and then count the many uninhabitable rugged woods and veined rivers, ground ravines and so on. The area that can be used to build a town is about 40 square kilometers, divided into upper and lower floors, and the number of people who can live there will not be less than 50,000, and the number of teams arranged will reach several thousand. And the mountain and sea giant elephant is still growing. In the process of getting bigger, Lin Yu can truly feel that various elements of this territory are being strengthened. For example, circular gas concentration, the growth rate of organisms, air quality and so on. After the growth, along with the improvement of the bat construction, this road will become a new habitable place. He clicked on a huge plain near KK's buttocks. It occupies a space of about 15 square kilometers, and many territories can be placed there. After the giant mountain and sea elephant is unfolded, the territory can also be formed into 2 towns in the form of upper and lower floors. Well, it's decided to make the business district an advanced city first. Lin Yu breathed a sigh of relief, recorded his thoughts in the communicator, and sent it to Kai. At this time, his communicator rang, and it came from the Alliance Center. Tang Makeup. Ah, little brother Lin Yu, I really want to contact you again, I'm here to give you a reward. Lin Yu smiled wryly, my little brother is bigger than a chicken fortune. Chicken Fu. What is it? You can look up the information about the language of Wu clan warriors. Forget it, it's definitely not a good word. Tang Zhuangzhuang's face was serious. This time I called to congratulate you for winning the first place in the Tide of Ghouls, and the data is indeed a bit amazing. However, the Alliance has issued the new Eagle Medal, and there are no other medals that can be issued to you for the time being. I can only record merits. Later, I will transfer 10 million gold coins to your account, and then there will be a special equipment with 4 ranks, which is not cheap. Okay, what else is there? One more thing. Tang Zhuangzhuang twitched the corner of his mouth. The young man seemed impatient. Don't worry, listen to me. Well, Lin made a patient expression. Right now, the Roof City Alliance Center intends to promote you to make the selection of this year's Vault Hunter popular. If possible, you will create a new faction. At the same time, it will also be of great help to the current population flow in your territory. What do you think? Tang Zhuangzhuang's face was serious. When she said this, she put away all the playful and charming little expressions before, and was very serious. Lin Yu shook his head and said, "Of course not." Why? Tang Zhuangzhuang was suddenly surprised. She felt that Lin Yu should agree immediately. After all, this promotion will be of great help to Wuji City and his Shanghai town. It can even be said to be a rare opportunity for official publicity. After all, Roof City can occupy all public screens and all holographic imaging equipment in all territories. Think about it. Lin Yu frowned. How many Lin Yus are there in this world? The Secret Lord is a feasible method. A large number of candidates have already been selected. There were also many candidates before. Why did they gradually decline? Because they are not as capable as you. Lin Yu shook his head and said nothing, because they didn't have a system. Of course, it is impossible to say this. But if this is publicized, a lot of people will poke Lin Yu's back and scold him in the future, and there will be various moral kidnappings. It means that you, Lin Yu, are the founder of this Secret Lord, and watched those who worshipped you and chose the status of the Secret Lord go bankrupt and be eliminated. At that time, regardless of whether it is reasonable or not, the sour person scolds first. It's not like Lin Yu has never seen this kind of situation. In short, Vault Hunters cannot be promoted. If they must promote me, I will advise them not to choose. Tang Zhuangzhuang was stunned for a moment, and then was reminded by Lin Yu's words, which was a real reminder. Indeed, Vault Hunter is relatively free and has a low threshold. But the Lord of Mizo is different. After becoming the Lord first, he must not only develop the soil of the territory, but also find ways to prepare for defense. Which rookie can get such a resource? Wait, unless. Tang Zhuangzhuang was stunned for a moment, pondering over and over again in her heart, then blinked at Lin Yu with a smile on her face. If the Alliance Center increases its support for the Lord, then it's different. For example, if you choose the Vault Lord, you can get an additional 1 million startup funds, 20 sets of standard equipment, and a 1-month rental qualification for the official Vault Hunter of the Alliance. After speaking, she licked her lips. It was as if he was specifically hooking up with Lin Yu. Tisk, this action is very dangerous. What are you talking about, little brother? I don't understand. Behind me, they are having a holographic video conference. The corner of Lin Yu's mouth twitched suddenly. How dare you? You're a public figure. You should check the chicken fortune. Lin Yu hung up the phone. Then I thought about it, posted a post on the forum, and then went to look through my resume. After such a phone call, Lin Yu's mailbox had more than 5,000 points of resume delivery. The amount of information was scary, and the scene was hot. These stonemasons, craftsmen, carpenters, and metalworkers are breaking their heads to enter Lin Yu's territory. In less than a moment, Lin Yu's post became popular again. The general content of the post is, I am an example, don't learn from me. The path of the treasure hunter is much easier, and the secret treasure lord needs to think carefully. If you feel that everything has been planned, then choose. People only have one chance in a lifetime. Don't make the wrong choice because of impulsiveness and blindness. Then it introduces the hardships of the Lord of Mizo and the exhaustion of 593 who was poor and destitute in the early stage, and he could hardly rest. Such a choice was suddenly exposed, which made many people feel embarrassed. Lin Yu, why did you come out to persuade me? Isn't it? I have enjoyed the sweetness of being the Lord of the secret store, so I don't want us to follow suit, do I? No, it's true when you think about it carefully. If Lin Yu hadn't obtained the secret of being able to walk, he would never have such a powerful Luang. Yeah, the crux of the problem is how did he make the territory walk? Lin Yu said, this is his ability. Talent, you don't have this kind of talent, so don't choose the secret treasure lord at will. There were various debates on the forum, and it was embarrassing that no one thanked Lin Yu for his persuasion, and of course no one listened. Most of the people, especially those who are about to graduate from the Rookie Academy, are still excited about choosing to become the Secret Lord. It seems that in their eyes, the Secret Lord must have a lot of money. When Lin Yu noticed it later, he just shook his head with a wry smile. As for what these people on the internet think, he doesn't care, and now he still has a big plan to do. Mainly because of this kind of thing, Lin Yu just tried his best to respond to the young children in order not to be malicious. But after persuasion, they still choose this way, so forget it. After all, the management of the territory is not good, and the same lord can buy it. Lin Yu estimates that there will be a large number of acquisitions by then. It's really, the territorial income that is sent to the door for nothing is really not for nothing. Lin Yu browsed through the resume, and let Linglong scan it, and selected a construction team with 300 craftsmen and 5 architects. The salary level of architects is above 6,000. The construction workers are about 1,500. With 300 construction workers, the price will reach almost 450,000, but this figure is really nothing to Lin Yu. He can even give extra rewards. Okay, man, Linglong said calmly. Okay, next, call me the 2 marketing general managers of Wongyuan Building Materials and Hongxing Building Materials. Yes. Ding ding ding. Ding ding. Hello, the holographic call was connected. Chen Nan of Red Star Group had been looking forward to Lin Yu for a long time. This is the first time that Lin Yu has proactively called in. But Ms. Huang Lin Yu from Wongyuan Company only got through after ringing for a while. In contrast, the two are so distinct in appearance. Chen Nan is a long-haired man with a strong and fit body, with a smile on his face, but the murderous look in his eyes is not weak at all. Huang Lin Yu is very interesting. Judging from the outline of her face, she should be a beauty. Unfortunately, she doesn't dress up at all, her face is a bit plain, and her hair is messy and she wears black-rimmed glasses. In short, she is sloppy and doesn't seem to regard herself as a beauty. Hello, Mr. Lin, I'm glad, why is he here? Haha, glasses girl, I said earlier that Lin Yu would choose us. Uncertain, Huang Lin Yu said lightly, and her tone was very flat. Lin Yu scratched his head, gradually put away the polite smile on his face, and said calmly, You too, I have signed an annual contract of 32.1 million yuan with Lanbo Group before. 5 years, worth 150 million. But now I'm also interested in the building materials of your Wongyuan Group and Hongxing Group. Everyone's method is to extract bone marrow, bone fragments from the bones of giant beasts that have not been transformed into mountains and seas, and then melt them into building materials. The method is different, or the same, but have different effects. I want to be aggressive, to be balanced, to try them all. What? Chen Nan's complexion changed suddenly, and he stretched out his hand to push all the mid-length hair back, his eyes were full of thinking. What's the situation? This young master must not be dizzy. The whole world knows that the strength between building materials is continuously differentiated from the bones to form various shields. Defensive shield, offensive shield, overlord body shield. The 3 shields are actually equivalent to formations. It is not so easy to coexist, and each other will explode if they leave the neutralization of the bone container. With building materials built like this, his territory would literally explode and then be destroyed from within. Yeah, what are you thinking? Huang Lin Yu also tilted her head. She couldn't figure out what was going on in Lin Yu's head, but when she thought of him being the first vault hunter to become famous. It may be a little mysterious, Lin Yu should have his reasons for doing things. Okay, if you want an order from our company, of course I won't refuse. Of course I want to give me free money, but your order is not at the price of Baishui, how about it? A smile finally appeared on Huang Lin Yu's face. Make an offer, my territory will grow every day, and the resulting area will definitely not be small. This point, I think you should have known about the contract case of Lanbo Company. I will not beat around the bush with you, and directly set a price. Chen Nan's face changed slightly, and then the corners of his mouth raised into a kind smile. In this case, I will make you my friend, 35 million gold coins per year, sign for 3 years, and after 3 years, according to the actual situation of the territory, the British contract. Then, so do we. Huang Linyu said immediately, and secretly glanced at Chen Nan. They are competitors to each other, and at the same time, such a concession has actually given Lin Yu a lot of face. However, the only thing that both of them felt strange was, what did Lin Yu buy these for? Is he crazy? Can the three building materials be used interchangeably? It is also possible. After all, his territory can be moved. If the internal and external spaces of the giant elephant are not connected, a shield with a completely different main type can be created. And this powerful shield of almost 50 to 60 square kilometers will allow Lin Yu to have shocking power. This can no longer be described as a powerful vault hunter or vault lord, this is simply a god. Yes, in some respects, Lin Yu is indeed the existence of God. If you sign the contract, come to our Shanghai town today mode, and I will open the transmission channel. In addition, I hope that the signed contract and construction will be completed within 5 days. Don't tell anyone. How to build it? Chen Nan asked a very critical question. Lin Yu said with a smile, I will close the shield, you can come in at any time, within 5 days, everything must be built, using your building materials. Okay, as long as you're happy, Lin Yu, you really have money and nowhere to spend it. I guess you might be experimenting with something, but it's really a waste of money. When the shield is opened, the other two are closed, and they will also explode, and they can no longer coexist. I know, I'll give it a try, 70 million yuan for one result, it's actually worth it. Lin Yu smiled and said fu. Early the next morning, Chen Nan and Huang Linyu's people came to Shanghai town through the teleportation channel opened by Lin Yu. At the same time, there were also those 305 craftsmen, engineers, and architectural designers. After arranging the work, Ling Long took the designers to meet the businessman Kai. After these people signed the contract, they would become permanent residents of Lin Yu's territory. Of course, both signed a non-disclosure agreement. Lin Yu, on the other hand, took Huang Linyu and Chen Nan for a stroll around the territory. Did you see, there is still a large blank space here. You all have all the building materials to build here. This is my Pingchuan town. Shanghai Pingchuan, a good name. Chen Nan had his hands behind his back. He was wearing sportswear, not Zhou Zheng because he was coming to see Lin Yu, while Huang Linyu was wearing a formal dress. Cleaned up very brightly. It seemed that she was completely different from the woman I saw in the holographic image that day. I was a bit sloppy that day, but don't stare at me all the time, I am very serious when I go to work. I know. Lin Yu withdrew his gaze. Among other things, although Huang Linyu is young, like a cute and dark-bellied girl, but her figure is very plump, even though she is wearing a dress and a long skirt, she still looks a little strangely beautiful. Dark beauty, maybe this style. Also, this is business, what are you doing in a dress? Soon, Lin Yu brought them to the third place, the back of the giant elephant, a downhill mountain range. But there are also plain areas. Lin Yu said to Huang Linyu, this mountain range is my Black Rose Pass. Your building materials are built here. I need to meet the building materials of 10,000 square meters and have enough effects. No problem, it can definitely be completed within 5 days. That's good. Lin Yu signed the contract and paid the money to the two in one lump sum, 70 million gold coins. At this moment, Lin Yu has less than 8 million left, but compared to most of the traveling vault hunters, Lin Yu is still a rich man AFCE. Because he exchanged all the money for the fighting power and defense power of the territory. Huang Linyu and Chen Nan looked at each other, then smiled politely at each other. Let's start, within 5 days, this lord is really strange, why did he give us such benefits? Maybe it's really an experiment, a test of 70 million. No, according to the contract we signed, this is already a contract of more than 200 million. I really don't know how he will repay it if he goes bankrupt in the future. Ha ha ha, Huang Linyu suddenly covered her face and chuckled, that's really looking forward to it. She looked at Lin Yu's leaving back, showing a kind of enchanting smile that ordinary girls never have. Hey, don't be like this again, just show this side in front of others. Well, it's nothing, I'm just expressing my inner thoughts. Huang Linyu withdrew her smile and adjusted her glasses. Restored the cute and harmless appearance of humans and animals before. Lin Yu waited in the territory for 3 days and collected a lot of synthesis points. During the construction of building materials, continuous growth, and the deepening of the construction of the commercial area, the daily collection of synthesis points reached 1900. Now, Lin Yu no longer feels that she is poor. The synthesis point reserve has reached 6,721, which is considered a new high reached by Lin Yu, and more can be accumulated after waiting for a while. In 2 days, it will be over 10,000. At this time, the building materials of the 2 building materials companies have been accelerated. Over Shanghai town, that is, over the back of the towering mountain and sea giant elephant, an air fleet flew over, all of which were auxiliary GU and Earth phase GU used for construction. Before they flew away from Lin Yu's territory, 2 people on the pilot ship stood in the sky, looking down at Lin Yu, and then one of them jumped up, and the wind blew her skirt, and landed in front of Lin Yu. 6. A circle of deep pits was smashed out. Lin Yu looked at the person in front of him, the woman, indifferently. Huang Lin Yu. There was an inexplicable smile on her face, then she stuck out her tongue and licked her lips, and said in a low and hoarse voice, I am interested, I really want to know what you are going to use these building material shields for. Doing what? Lin Yu, you remember my dark tyrant dragon? There are 10 electric dragons that I have grown up with since I was a child, a 6-turn giant dragon. I have now made it a semi-mechanical one. Lin Yu looked up and saw a giant dragon with a wingspan of about 800 meters wide. The so-called Western dragons are actually a group of large lizards with wings. Some of them are born with an affinity for magic and can cast powerful elemental magic. But now, the 2 wings are equipped with black lacquered muzzles, machine guns, laser gun beams, and extremely powerful magic bombs and spiritual power bombs. All kinds of light are wrapped around the body. In addition, there are watchtowers and magic towers on the back, and on the skin as dark as scorched rock. Many places can become bunkers, hiding the Emperor's soldiers. Most importantly, this mechanical flying dragon is still breathing. Breath. Amber's eyes moved down to stare at Lin Yu. What Lin Yu didn't expect was that this girl's heart seemed to be not as harmless as it seemed on the surface. You know, you are very similar to me. We both like to experiment, like to assemble different things together, and get new strengths through collisions. I'm looking forward to your results, and I'll keep an eye on whether this territory explodes or succeeds. The corner of Lin Yu's mouth twitched. This woman seems a bit dangerous, even more dangerous than Tang Zhuangzhuang. Okay, don't send it. Lin Yu turned and left. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.